Hello, Internet. Top of the morning to ya. Bye-bye. Welcome back to D&D. My name is Tommy, and we are doing a Harry Potter D&D game today. This is also a total test run. Jeff, are you ready?
Yes.
Good, because we have a lot to go through. First of all, your house. Hufflepuff, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor.
My house?
Your house.
Yeah, it's in Auburn.
You want... Spoilers. Now people are going to send you fan mail. You can consciously...
To Auburn.
Choose... Jeff in Auburn. You can choose which house you want to be in, but if you don't, and if you let the D4 decide, you will receive a bonus corresponding to whatever house you land on. How would you like to do it?
God, my character... Well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't necessarily have to be Gryffindor. The bonus would be nice, though. What... Do I know the bonus?
It's an increased stat point corresponding to each house.
Interesting.
And that is not included in the starting 8.
Honestly, I don't think it would be right for my character to not be a Gryffindor. So
Okay.
Gryffindor.
All right. So you're a Gryffindor without the bonus, which is totally okay. You start the game knowing those beginning 7 spells in the spell sheet under General. Those are free to you. They're automatic, and pretty much any starting Hogwarts student will know them within the first 1.5 to 2 years. That's why I'm just gifting them to you. They're also not lethal, not harmful. They are just helpful, utilitarian spells. They include Periculum, Verdilius, Lumos, Nox, Scourgify, Turgio, and Point Me. Yes, Point Me is the name of the spell from Book 4. Also, your wand.
Yes.
Roll me a D100 and a D10, please.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. 97.
97. Roll me a D4.
Strangely high roll. 3 out of 4.
Okay.
97 plus 3 makes 100.
You
Bam.
have... What?
The Elder Wand. Cool.
That's actually really funny. Okay. Your wand, wood, is made out of silver lime.
Silver lime?
Silver lime. That is the name of the tree in which the wood came from.
Okay.
From which the wood came.
I'll put this as a weapon?
Yeah. Silver lime wand. And the core...
Silver lime, I'm hyphenating.
It is not hyphenated, but please do as you will.
Sure.
Give me a D10 for the core of your wand.
So it's a silver lime wood, and then the core is a D10?
Yes.
7.
The 7 is... The core... Oh my god. The core is a horned serpent horn, and you receive a bonus 4 MP at the start of the game.
Horned serpent horn?
Yep.
Okay. Horned serpent horn core. Horned serpent horn core.
Mm-hmm.
And like length and flexibility and all that, does that come into play?
You'll have to give me another D4 for that.
4.
It is rather rigid, but not completely brittle. Give me a D12 for length.
Rigid. D12. 9.
You have a wand.
Crazy.
Of 10.25 inches.
Rigid. 10.25 inches.
Now, my mental imagining is that this wand is like brown and a bit of silver, because I don't know what silver lime looks like, so I'm just making this up in my head. Like silver and brown, slightly curvy near the hilt part. Slightly curved, like actually twists.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's just what I was
like
imagining.
a DNA strand kind of twist.
Yeah.
With the wood at the end.
Yeah. You can have it be however you want. It's your made-up mental
I'm going to draw a
wand.
picture of it now.
Katie?
I have horrible artistic skills in terms of drawing, so. And he said the total bonuses for this wand is just the +4 MP at the start of the game.
The one that
For
you
as long as I
know
equip
of,
it.
first of all, that you are consciously aware of, is an increase of 4 MP at the start of the game.
Fantastic.
Additionally, you start the game with 18 HP and a typical MP start of 20. With that 4, you start with 18 HP, 24 MP. Okay?
You said typical start?
Typical start for this Harry Potter
Oh,
themed
that's
D&D.
right. That's right.
So 1820, but that one increases it to 1824.
So 1824, got it. 18 HP, 24 MP.
Correct. Now, you are level 6 at the start of this test game,
Right.
which means you are going to theoretically level up
5 times.
5 times. It's going to be the same as what you have been doing for other D&D games, where you're going to get 1 in each and 3 in between.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You get 8 stat points at the beginning, 2 with
Plus
each level up. Cunning works the same, willpower works the same, constitution and dex work the same. Also remember, please, that in my games, everything is rounded up if it's cut in half.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put 1824 plus 5 in each is 2329. I'll write that number down before I forget it. $23.29, and then 3 times 5 is 15 points to spend in between. But I don't know my stats yet. So I'm going to put 15 on the side, and I'm going to put in my vital points after I put in my stat points, as well as my skill points.
I would like to draw attention to 2 things before you put stat points, because this is the perfect opportunity.
Okay.
Here's how battle is going to be different.
Okay.
And I actually misspoke before the recording started. There's actually 2 differences to battle.
Okay.
Not just one. One, at the beginning of each of your turns, you regain half of your character level's worth of MP per turn.
Okay.
Okay? Second, you, and I could change that mid-game. That's another thing in this test game. I could change it midway at any point just to see how things work out. The second thing is that when you are casting a spell, say that you're casting Flipendo, you are rolling a dex check to see if you do the wand movement correctly. You are then rolling again willpower to see if the spell casts.
Okay.
Okay? So it's 2 d20s to see if it works.
Wand motion plus the actual willing the spell to work.
Yes, exactly.
So
here's the thing.
So wand movement and successful cast.
Yes.
Okay.
If either of those is a 1, it automatically fails and you burn the MP.
Okay.
Okay? If one succeeds and the other fails, some other thing will happen.
Okay.
That's it.
Great.
Those are the 2 major modifications.
If I don't crit either, and it just both of them are just standard successful, does the effect happen the way I want it to happen?
Yes.
What does change things a bit. My defense stats is going to protect me from physical, like, non-spell harm.
And magical.
And magical.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you think as far as, like, the movies go, they're constantly bobbing and weaving out of the way. That's my
That's
mentality.
dodging.
That's defense. That's dodging. Also, it
They're
amplifies,
dodging, deflecting,
it
running.
amplifies the need for dexterity in dueling.
Yeah.
So, this is how I logify it. That's a word.
Logify.
Logify! Okay.
I was going to say that did sound like a spell. All right. I like that.
Thank you. I'm going to let you think. I'm going to go do something. For the sake of the recording, I hope you speak out loud.
Well, Internet and Tommy, primarily. I've been thinking that with my pool of 18 points total after 5 level ups, that I did want to actually spread out my points, because I think a min-max style character in a solo campaign is a little bit haphazard and irresponsible. So spreading points isn't necessarily always the best thing, but in a solo campaign, in my experience, I think having a well-rounded character is very important. The type of character that I want to have is one with the aspirations of becoming an auror, so obvious duelist. So his increased importance on the dexterity stat and defense stats definitely make those much more much more tempting, and even furthermore tempting, because I want my character to be somewhat of a kind of like a solo artist. As I originally described my idea for a character as like a spell thief, so that would be someone who would be quick and dexterous anyway. So dexterity is probably going to be one of my primary stats, along with cunning, actually. But willpower is also extremely important, because I was kind of considering that magic would be my second or third stat, but now I'm thinking it's going to be like my third or fourth stat. So I'm thinking that willpower and magic might be kind of equal, while dexterity and cunning might be my primaries. It's kind of where I'm at right now. Milestones in my game, which I imagine is going to be similar, because he didn't mention any milestone changes. It's going to be 5 points for first milestones in any of the stats. So I'm thinking I definitely want to have 5 dex and 5 cunning. And that'd be 10 of my 18. And I could put 4 into willpower, 4 into magic, or even 5 willpower and 3 magic, I think would also be good. So I could always beef up magic on further level ups, because I am a sucker for milestones. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do the deed of 5 dexterity, 5 willpower, 5 cunning, and 3 magic. And I think further level ups, I'm going to be increasing dexterity, magic, and maybe just a little bit of a splash in constitution. Willpower in the past has increased a character's MP pool by 2 points per point of willpower.
And it still will.
And it still will, so okay.
It also feeds into the
critical hit.
To the critical hit, but also the success of the willpower roll.
Uh-huh.
Because
the willpower is a fantastic stat.
I should have probably mentioned the success of the dex roll is just like a typical, like if you attack with a sword in your rules from previous games. The willpower, normally a spell, if you cast Fireball, it's like, oh, I rolled a 3, shoot, I failed. Oh, I rolled a 4, I do it right.
Yeah.
So it's different here because everybody is a wizard. So the failure rate in this game, from starting game, the failure starts at 10.
Mm-hmm.
So every point of willpower will bring that down.
Got it. So having 5 willpower, my failure would be 5 or less.
Yes.
Totally fine.
Okay.
Especially because I can't really see myself taking points away from the other stats that I was mentioning. Especially because all of them are setting on milestones, with the exception of magic. I don't know how much you heard, but I did 5 dex, 5 willpower, 5 cunning, and 3 magic.
Cool.
That's going to bring my defense by 1 because of the 5 dex. It's going to bring my critical chance
18.
up by 10%. Because I got 2 milestones in that, which is great. Having that crit chance sort of balances out the 1 through 5 being a failure, in my opinion. Plus, it's 2 rolls. So, really, a successful spell, not counting the dexterity failures, 1 through 5 on 2 rolls is really a little bit over a 12% chance of failure.
So, yeah, 1 to 5 is just the failure rate for that second roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it overall. Assuming I pass the dexterity, because that's his own separate roll. Interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up my MP by... there's also skills, because there's a couple of really obviously good ones that I want.
So you start the game with 4 of your choice, 4 abilities / spells of your choice, and then for each level up you get another.
So this could be a total of 9 plus the first year, plus the first year gimmies. So I have 9 plus 7. I have 16 spells, including all the gimmies.
Mm-hmm. Which makes it so that you're not necessarily weak and hindered at the beginning, or even mid-game, but you're also not overpowered.
Mm-hmm. All right. So definitely, I'm spending 4 skill points right off the bat in your physical area. Maybe 5.
Okay. What do you like?
6.
So that's only 3 points left to put into spells.
Yep. As odd as that sounds, yes. Because my character is going to want to be a natural duelist, so I'm going to get evasion and dueling club training. Deep reserves and efficiency. Improved casting. Those 5 are definites.
Which is funny, because you got low magic overall. You only have 3 magic.
Mm-hmm. This is going to make it so that I don't hit quite as hard, but I will hit
often.
Every time, basically. I'd have to really blank up a roll for it to fail. I also bring my crit chance down to 17. And my failure down to 4.
And
also, it says lowers character's spell failure rate by 5%. So does that apply to both rolls?
No, just the willpower.
Just the willpower. Okay. Great. It's kind of what I imagined. I just wanted to see if I would get the additional bonus of dexterity.
Can I get more?
Can you get more? And then, nonverbal spells. I've been doing a little overthinking, as one would call it. That if I have a gigantic mana pool, especially if it regenerates every turn, that the +2 MP cost to any spell cast this way would be not a big deal. So, increasing my spell chance or spell crit chance by 15% would drop it down to 14. And that is really hot. I don't even need very much magic to do a lot of damage. And I'd be very successful with the spells I cast. But that's 6 spells out of the 9 right off the bat. So I obviously need a dueling spell. I'm probably going to get 1 or 2 from Defense Against Dark Arts. And then I want to have 1 Transfigurement spell. Because, by the way, I chose Defense Against Dark Arts and Transfiguration as my 2 specialties. What the heck is Transfiguration?
Near the bottom, I think.
Yeah. You are correct.
It's definitely not the last page.
Definitely not the last page.
There's some bad stuff back there.
So I really feel like I should have Revelio. Because I'm going to be looking for secrets and whatnot. And it's obviously a good spell. Now, do I spend 2 points, one on a defensive and one on an offensive spell? Or do I go further in Transfiguration and get Animalistic Transmutation and pick 3 of those? And then one dueling spell.
Clarifying the Animalistic Transfiguration, they are individual spells. So if you choose that, it's not that you get 3 in there. Those are individuals, like a pool of 5 that you pick 1 per level up. It's not you take the whole thing and then pick 3 inside.
I definitely misread that.
That's okay. I may need to rewrite it.
So basically, they're all there and they're all available, but you cannot learn all 5.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then that makes my decision easy.
Okay.
I'm going to go Revelio. Oh, man. Ridiculous or Expecto Patronum. Offensive spells obviously going to be Stupefy. Sorry. It's just too good. It's too good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about Flipendo or one of the elemental spells, but I specifically went to Defense Against Dark Arts. Which, by the way, I think, not bashing you in any way, but I think some of the spells were misplaced.
I had to really pick and choose where they really belong, so yeah, they could be kind of...
It just seemed a little wonky, because I think... I don't think Expecto Patronum was in the right place.
I put it in Care Magical Creatures, I believe.
Yeah.
And I did that because I like the idea of having a Care Magical Creatures section, but I could just move all 3 of those spells into Defense Against the Dark Arts, which might make more sense.
I'm just trying to remember what it was like in the books, because in the books... The Defense Against Dark Arts teacher was...
So Lupin taught it to Harry. It's a charm, so it could be in charms. It could be Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Actually, you're 100% right. It is, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a spell that is designated in the books as a level 7 spell. So Harry learned it
early.
Year 3 by a Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, but it's a charm. So it's all over the place.
Really all over the place.
So it was hard for me to pick where to put it. So I put it in none of those places.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then there's also Protego.
Easily one of my favorite spells ever.
It's...
Did you like how I make it an instant?
Well, it almost has to be an instant.
I know, but still, I almost didn't.
It's like you would have to predict what they're going to do.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like Protego, and that's my turn, and then hope that they just go ahead and do their stuff.
I really did think about doing it, though, where it's like, oh, they're coming, and then you spend your entire turn using it, and then the rest of your turn's action is to, like, get out of the way, or, like, to dodge, or to duck, or duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Yeah. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. But honestly, I like the idea of making it instant with a high MP cost. I think that makes sense.
Yes.
So, actually, I think I'm going to go Revelio, Protego, and Stupefy.
Protego, Revelio, and Stupefy. I think that's very balanced and very cool. Also, you are really leaning into the physical attributes, which I find very, very, very funny.
Yeah.
Because you're playing this game akin to how you would your typical D&D game. So it's like, really load up that character. Abilities. Pfft.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be able to survive.
Oh, yeah. Because one of the first healing ones seemed pretty attractive, but one of them was like, it seemed like half of a waste because you get 2 abilities, and one of them was like to clear a block throw, and it's like, if I'm going to do non-verbal spells, then it doesn't really matter for me. I put a lot of thought into this, considering I just read the email like yesterday.
But you never responded.
Well, I was busy, okay. God damn you. And all the spells.
And all of my choices.
They're so good.
Thank you. It took me 5 days to write them all down.
Fumos.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't go with that one.
It's great.
I know.
I want it.
Then
but I'm not getting it.
Oh.
Because...
Just think of all the other stealth protective spells you could have gotten if you didn't do pure physical. You could have gotten Priori and Cantartum. You could have gotten...
There's so many good things, but it's like...
Hominum Revelio.
It's just like... I'm a duelist. Like, primarily. It's one of those things where it's like, if S hits the fan... I can get out or fight my way out.
Cave Nipicum?
I don't want to hear it. Okay?
Ferula?
No. I know.
Glacius? Something. Yeah. All these. Also, any spell that is labeled in the end as a precision spell, it is more difficult to succeed in the dex roll. Just so you're aware.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes.
I did have that question when I first read through, but I forgot to ask about it. It says Protego is a bold ability, so do I need Salvo Hexia before it? I just realized that.
Yes, you do.
Well, that's going to really change my choices here.
But that also means Salvo Hexia, which is not a bad option because it's a sustained spell, a sustained shield spell, with a chance to deflect back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's good.
But it only blocks. It does not block charms or curses.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just. Okay. Listen up. Here's a story about a little guy.
Listen.
Who's overwhelmed with spell choices.
Never heard that story. Just so you're aware, my wand is made of reed and a unicorn hair. That's what they said in the wand shop. And it also says on the box reed.
Where they base it off of?
Huh?
How did they come to that conclusion?
This was in Hogsmeade.
Yeah. How did they decide that you are unicorn hair and reed?
Oh, I chose the wand. They looked inside and told me the core.
Ah.
Yeah.
I thought there was like a ceremony of sorts to say, this would be your type of a wand.
There is a ceremony, but they tend to only pick kids.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Which, by the way, random story, because it wouldn't be D&D without a random story, right? I was in the midnight premiere line for, I believe, Order of the Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
It was movie 5, 6, or 7. I can't remember. Definitely not 6. 5 or 7. It was 5 or 7, okay?
Okay.
5 or 7.
Okay.
Okay. And I was like waiting in line, and there's like a bunch of people like dressed up. Obviously, I'm just in my normal clothes, but I'm like, just slightly older than the average attendee, right? And like these like I don't know, like middle school, I'm guessing, kids are like, "Aren't you a little old to be in this line?" And jokes on them. There's like the Harry Potter craze exploded well into adults. Like,
yeah, we were like young kids when it first came out. Yeah,
but I just remember like looking at her and being like, "What?
Are you a little old? Aren't you a little baby?"
Yeah, it's like
you little baby.
That's weird. It's like, shouldn't you not be in a midnight line? Maybe, now that I think about it, maybe it wasn't a midnight premiere. I just remember what she said.
You weren't even like at a Harry Potter premiere. You're just like at a public bathroom somewhere. Weren't you a little old to be here?
You're a little old for a bathroom.
You're right. I'm a fossil. I pee on myself.
Aren't you a little male for the women's restroom? Like peeing in the sink.
Okay.
That's hard.
When you have that all written down.
All right. I'm doing.
But also to save you time, you don't have to write down every single little thing, because that's a lot of handwriting.
This is a lot of handwriting. So I'm just memorizing the fact that I have the 7 that are gimmies. So I'm just going to refer to those in my email.
Okay.
And I'm just writing evasion, dueling club training, deep reserves, efficiency, because I kind of know what all those do. Evasion, dueling club training. Deep reserves and efficiency. Improved casting. So my character won't be getting natural flyer ever.
Yeah. Didn't you give him like a fear of flying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not a Quidditch player.
Yeah, I'm not.
Does he enjoy
I'm not
Quidditch?
I'm not like absolutely terrified.
Does he enjoy Quidditch?
I'm not playing it. I'll watch
Watching
it though. Yeah. Non-verbal spells. I'm just gonna put real quick plus 15% crits and plus 2 MP cost because that makes.
Yeah, that's their biggest issue.
Yep. And then I'm gonna do improve casting as minus 5% plus 5% because I know what it does.
What the heck?
Efficiency is okay. So deep reserves at C below. Efficiency is plus 12 MP and then minus 1 MP cost on non-sustains. Doing club training is plus 3 diff. And evasion is plus 3 diff. And I get the bonus for having 5 decks, which is plus 1 diff. Which gives me a total of 7 diff. On top of my starting 5 diff. For a total of 12 diff.
Alright.
Enough. 12 diff.
It's just gonna keep jumping. 'Cause I can't see.
Oh yeah, and there's sneak.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't take that one either.
It's like, what am I thinking?
I got one out.
Well, okay. So, I'm going to reconsider some things. Okay.
Yes.
So, listen up. Here's a story.
What's your character's name?
Whoa.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
I like the classic.
Peregrine
Star
Botter.
Wars, yeah.
But call me Perry.
Perry. Where is Perry?
Hmm?
Perry. Alright.
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah. Also, Peregrine Botter.
Yes, I understand the funny wordplay. Thank you so much.
Anytime. But now you have the privilege of looking at me going in a character voice, Botter. Botter.
Get him.
This is just as good for me as it is for you. Okay. Peregrine Botter. Listen.
Mr. Botter,
Someone's not happy.
our newest McGonagall.
Yeah, that's me. All right, listen up now. Okay, so I have to get sneak. It's just
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Also, but you don't have Fumos, which means you can't disengage.
sneak. I know what it does.
Be sure to write down its MP cost.
Yep, 0.
Whoa, wait.
Oh, and Expelliarmus. That's right. Look at me, so dumb.
In my opinion, Stupefy is actually a better one-off spell than Expelliarmus.
Yeah.
Stupefy is more versatile.
Yes.
But
Agree.
Expelliarmus can end a fight.
You can. That's why it's good. That's why it's so great.
I did a bit more reading about your wand wood.
Yeah.
And it is a wand. It is a wand that is usually given to people who are gifted in divination, and its favorite spell is Legitimens.
Really?
Yes.
I thought about getting like Aquaman's Legilimens and stuff like that, but I was like, that would be for like max level stuff.
I will also say
that's when I have the information that would be valuable.
For flavor for your character, I will say that it was drawn to you because you are a person who's into subterfuge, who is looking for the truth and looking to bring out justice or whatever.
Yeah.
So, in that vein of truth and finding the truth through any means necessary, even if that means manipulation, that's why the wand. That work for you? That works for me.
Yeah, it gets me off.
Was it good for you?
Yeah.
Right.
No. It could have been a little longer though.
That's what she said.
The wand.
Yeah, in multiple ways.
All right, listen up. How many times am I going to say listen up? All right, listen up. You got sneak. Okay, sneak and stupefy are like definite. It's just that last one that's going to get me. And I'm looking at Fumos and I can't get it because it's a bold ability. And then I need Cave Inimicum. Inimicium?
Inimicum.
Oh, yeah. Inimicum, yeah. I don't know why I wanted to add an I in there. Cave Inimicum. So I keep looking at invisible I in there. Effective. Right. It's really good. I'm going to rely on my sneak, though, because I have high dex. So I'm going to get Salva Hexia.
Is that what I want?
Yes, because I need Protego. I need it. And I also need Revelio.
No.
So by level 8, I can have Revelio. This is so difficult. Would you not change anything? Because I like struggling right now. This feels great. Usually I have everything like laid out and I know what I'm doing.
You know, the fact that I'm actually seeing you diving so hard into this.
I'm squirming so much right now.
Not from the fact of just like, this doesn't make sense, this isn't fair, but from the fact that you know you can make it balanced, but you're struggling to find which way to do it.
No, it's
great.
In terms of spell selection, it's 100% balanced.
I'm so glad.
Because I could very easily just be like, oh, you know what? Just screw deep reserves and efficiency and get everything I want.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not doing that because efficiency specifically works so well with the regen effect and non-verbal spells. It's like I look for good skill combinations that like benefit each other and not just singularly benefit. Yeah, stacking benefits is actually one of the secrets to making an overpowered character.
So the other way that I was thinking about doing the regen, if this proves too powerful, which it totally could.
I am like 85% sure it's going to be too powerful.
Yes. So my other idea was that having a layered level threshold depending on how much MP you get per turn. So levels 1 through 5 only recover 1.
Oh, yeah.
6 through 10 recover 2. 11 to 15 recover 3.
I was even thinking you could just do like 1.
So let's
like 1 and then have like a secondary like magic or willpower type of milestone where it increases the benefit.
So
but
for the sake of both of us agreeing on this second option more so, let's change it right now. Since you're level 6, you will now recover 2 per turn instead of the 3 that you normally would.
So would the math? So is it just going to be a base 2 always?
Yes. Until you turn level 11, which you're not going to in this small game.
No. Because, wow, you know. So, like, a base 2, because you can do it, like, a third of character level.
I could.
And, like, level 9, I'd be regenerating 3. Level 12, I'd be regenerating 4.
I could.
We're just going to keep it at 2, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fine. That still makes up for the increased MP cost in non-verbal spells. And then my MP cost is still reduced by efficiency, so... I mean, I'm still at a net gain.
Didn't do it right.
especially with such a large MP pool. Okay, sneak. I know what it does. It's sustained. I'm keeping it with the sustained list.
Right, sneak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that.
Stupefy, sneak. Yeah. That. Stupefy is I scrolled past it. It's 1d6 plus magic and then a 1-turn stun. If crit, I think. Red energy causing 1d6 plus magic and stun for 1 turn. It's not an if. Mm-hmm. It's too good. Yeah, I like that. All right. 1d6 plus magic. So I have 3 magic, so that would be 3 to 9, which is 12 divided by 2 is 6. Average of 6 damage if I do not crit. And then weaker creatures can be knocked unconscious. Sucks for them. +1. Turn. Stun is so good. I'm going to put weaklings can be rendered unconscious. Can be rendered KO. Just to shorten it. And 7 MP. My first MP cost ability. And then I'm still going back and forth, even though I know I should get Self-Hexia.
The struggle is real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Thingy came. It's also really good.
One of my favorite finds was finding a charm that lets you double up, like basically create a sustained effect of a certain charm to create another charm effect. So basically, you could double up 2 mutual effects at the same time. I don't remember which one it was, but it's a higher level one that I wrote down. I'm gonna find it. And Ventus Expulso is crazy powerful. Reducto is also one of my favorites.
Yeah. I remember reading Reducto. It's good.
Fianto Dori, that's what it was. It's an instant, level 7, allows a caster to keep 1 charm active while casting another.
Yeah, a lot of really good stuff. I apologize for a lot of
It's totally okay.
Dead silence.
This is just us.
Yeah, I know. A lot of dead air going on right now. Yeah, Expulso is really good, but it's like I literally need to get Findo, Bombarda, and Confrigo. Like,
and it depends. It's dependent on an inanimate object to explode.
Yeah.
Ooh, a wooden crate.
Like I mean, if I was playing in a party, I would 100% be getting all those destruction ones, and then like a bunch of sustainabilities to go along with those. It's too good. Like why wouldn't I? Anyway,
just go pure mischief. Make people erupt in boils. Make their hair into antlers. Turn them into rabbits.
The hair into antlers ones was another one that just made me laugh out loud because I was like, it's like minor damage, and you have antlers now.
And for fun, turn animals into war goblets.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I need to have a good sustain. And the sustain... Where is it?
So you're really against Revelio, Stupefy, and Salvio Hexia?
Oh, that's cute. They have purple traps.
That seems like a totally fine combination.
Wait. I have 3 abilities left after all the general ones. Mm-hmm. I got Sneak as the 7th.
Oh,
and then I'm at 8 and 9.
I thought that Sneak was one of the physical
8 and
ones.
9. 8 was Stupefy because it's obviously something I need. And then 9th is I have 1 left. And I'm
you are
torn.
putting so much into physical stuff.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm. It's mostly because Salvio Hexia turns into Protego,
Yeah.
and I'd rather get Protego sooner than later. And then
They're like,
really want Revelio, and I really want Fumos. But if I go,
Fumos is a second tier.
yeah, if I go the Protego route, it's literally going to be at least 3 more levels before I get Fumos. So I'm thinking it's smarter just to rely on my sneak stat, and then
whoa.
get the more physical spells and like the stuff like Revelio to reveal things, or Aloha Mora, just unlock things.
Frankly, I think you are correct.
Like, how useful would that be?
You're
Duh, you know. But it's like, which one would be more useful? Revealing things or unlocking things? Like, just depends, you know. So I think I'm gonna actually. I think I've actually made a decision already, because I'm only gonna get 1 spell per level, and I know we're not gonna be playing like level after level after level. I'd be surprised if I got to 11, but we could. Like, I'm probably gonna just skirt Fumos and Kave Ethan, which is really painful to say out loud, but I think it's the right thing.
Whoa there.
My character, it makes way more sense to get like Revelio and being able to unlock stuff. So I think.
okay.
Dang
I'm gonna put you out of your misery.
it. Good.
We're gonna have a chance here. You're gonna roll your scores for your OWLs right now, because you're year 6, right?
Yes.
We're gonna roll your scores for your OWLs. So
Oh.
I may over-explain during this game because I don't know what Harry
Dude,
Potter lore you know versus
it's
mine.
totally fine.
Okay, so in 5th year at the end,
Mhm.
every student has to go through the OWLs, which is Ordinary Wizarding Levels tests.
Yes.
Kind of like standardized tests that nobody does anymore.
Yep.
So you take them in every topic that you have taken so far. That includes the core classes of potions, charms, defense against dark arts, blah, 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 including the 2 electives that you chose in 3rd year.
Yeah, I'll say that.
So let me get to the list real quick.
Would my electives be data and transfiguration?
No. So the classes that you took from year 1 to 2, no doubt about it, was astronomy, charms, defense against the dark arts, flying for 1 year, herbology, history of magic, potions, and transfiguration. Those are all things that you had to take as a starting student. In 3rd year, you could pick ancient runes, arithmancy, which is magical numbers, care of magical creatures, divination, or muggle studies. You had to pick 2 of those.
Should I have already had picked those? Is that what you
No,
were?
this is totally fine. This is
Alright,
just
alright.
this is flavor, but also to
Got it.
help me understand your character better, and for you to understand your character
I
better.
am 100% going Muggle studies,
Muggle studies.
and as much as I like numbers,
Oh my gosh.
I gotta go with ancient runes.
Okay,
The
perfect.
frick?
So please write that down somewhere
Nuts.
to know that your lore checks in those departments may be higher.
How much stamina does one guy have, for real?
Ancient runes and Muggle studies.
Okay. Now, in 5th year, you're going to take a exam per each of those topics. So what you're going to do is going to give me 5 d20s and drop the lowest score.
5d20s per.
Just roll me
per
5
class.
d20s, I'll take care of the rest.
Okay. 16, 16, 15, 9, and 12.
Okay.
So that would be
So 9 is the lowest.
16. Yeah, 16, 16, 15, 12.
Okay. So that's a score of 59. Your overall OWL score got you quite a few E's, which is exceeding expectations. You got a couple, maybe 1 or 2 O's, which is outstanding, and you got maybe 1 or 2 A's, which was acceptable. So overall, you did not fail any of your OWLs, proving that you are quite a good, well-rounded student.
Excellent.
Granting you access to 1 more spell. Or...
Okay.
Or... you could have taken a specialized class, which would give you increased lore in one of these domains. You could gain the spell Apparition, or Alchemy, which is higher understanding of potions and how they work, or Wand Lore. Or you can gain a new spell.
Couldn't I just... Well, Apparition's one of the spells.
It's actually... I meant to have it... more denoted that it's closed off unless you choose it here.
Oh. Makes me want to choose it, because I remember reading through and going like, oh, I should probably get Apparition. Because it makes sense.
Typically, in canon, you're not able to apparate inside of Hogwarts. For the sake of the game, you will be able to. You just cannot apparate away from Hogwarts.
Got it.
Because yes, you were having a game inside Hogwarts. You are not in the magical world. But I wanted to go to Gringotts.
Well, I mean, honestly, like if I took Apparition or Apparate, and you didn't let me use it because I was in Hogwarts, you'd be 100% acceptable. Because that's the way it is.
Like I've been totally canonized this whole time. May as well drop that one too. Yeah. Just like, heck, congratulations, you can't use it.
You will most likely never be able to use it. I can use it in the room of requirement.
You don't know it exists.
So you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You also, this is a good little note for me to include right now. Several spells I wanted to include, and they're in the book. I could not include them because the Half-Blood Prince wrote them, like Muffliato
and Sectum Sempra.
And Sectum Sempra.
I was wondering why I couldn't find that.
And like the one where, what is it called? Leviocorpus. I can't put them in because nobody knew them at the time.
Yep. Wow, look at you and all your research.
If I was ever going to really try this, I was going to go full throttle.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love this story. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when I was writing it, I was, like, writing it lovingly. I'm spelling it Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Inik. Yeah. Oh, man. I think since you did not choose Care of Magical Creatures, it makes even more sense that you don't have Expecto Patronum, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. And it's a seventh year spell anyway, so I wouldn't, unless someone went out of their way to teach me it. So, all right, listen up.
Here's a story.
Here's a story about how I'm going to choose Revelio, because it's Transfiguration, and I like it.
And so
I can take a hit. I can, right? Yeah, I can take a hit. Okay. That is a major action spell, yeah?
Yes.
Cool. Stupefy and Revelio. Is there a range in Revelio? Because it doesn't say.
Eyesight. It has to be in vision. That's all.
Reveal the secrets within vision. And because 9, I believe. Revelio. It's further down. Wingardium Leviosa. I have to say it since I scrolled past it.
I'm actually really proud of myself that I put Locomotor as a second step to Leviosa. I don't know. I'm proud of what I've made.
You should be.
Thank you.
It's very good. Yeah, 9 and P. Look at me. Look at the brains on this guy.
Now, I did have Revelio kind of be a out-of-combat idea of a spell. You can use it in combat. Right. But typically it's like, oh man, what's this about?
Yeah.
Revelio. Damn. Damn.
Alright, so listen up. There's another question I had.
Yeah.
And I just reminded myself of it because it's right above Revelio. It's called Evanesco.
Yes.
Makes an inanimate object disappear.
Yeah, it's the companion to
And,
Revelio.
yeah, and then
I'm trying to do her.
caster does not maintain knowledge of the transfigured item's location.
Yes.
So you can make it disappear. Like, I make my cup disappear, and it's just sitting there, and I'm looking at it knowing that it's just invisible. So I just suddenly forget that it exists.
No, that means to say that, like, if you had a ball and you made it invisible and then you threw it, it's now pretty much gone from your awareness. Like, you could try to find it by blundering
you
around.
You mean if it moves, then obviously I'm not going
Yes.
to know where it is. Got
Exactly.
it. You would have to cast Revelio in your surroundings. Yes. Got it.
Or the reversal transfiguring one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
Revelio.
Because I was like,
yeah.
how silly would it be to turn something invisible and then suddenly just lose knowledge of it?
Right, so it's not like a forget-me-not spell, it's more just like as I know that you're still there,
Yeah.
I think. Like,
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing. It's not like you have a homing beacon to that item.
So it actually knocks into it when they're walking by and it like rolls downstairs. You're like, nope, it's lost.
Exactly. Exactly.
Cool. So yeah, I went Sneak, Stupefy, Revelio, and then I could choose another spell.
That's not gonna happen.
Or you can understand wand lore, if that's your character.
Whoa.
Not really. Not alchemy. That's out the window. I already knew my character was going to be like potions was probably my worst, but
Snake fucking hates you, yeah.
probably.
You got acceptable in that OWL.
Yeah. It was like acceptable Baltimore.
Also, just so you're aware, year 6 is like your cush year. It's like senior year in high school.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, that was hard. I don't have to worry until next year. It's like your cush relaxation year. Have some sex with some girls. It's pretty great. You're 16. Everyone's learning.
16-year-old Venus.
Venus flytrap.
When Venus flytrap, yeah. All right.
That's the last things for you to be aware of, but it's not necessarily going to really change your abilities or anything. It's just story-wise. After you finish your OWLs, you get to choose which topics you continue in. Because depending on like your scores in each class, like in the story, if Snape kept being the potions master in Harry's 6th year, he would only allow students that got an O in potions. He didn't. He got an E. But then Slughorn came in as professor, and he accepted E's and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So my point is that depending on the scores you got in your OWLs, you would be allowed to continue in certain topics. Because I'm going to say canon-wise, you did not get an O in potions, you did not continue potions.
Great.
Okay.
Perfect.
I will say you probably got an O in transfiguration, and
defense
quite
and star
possibly data, yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to say that those were my O's.
Sure. Everything
makes
else
sense.
was E or A.
So do I choose that now? Like which ones I continue in?
They can just be mentally in your head, but they build your character.
Those would be the two I would choose.
Okay.
Anyway. So would my 7th year look like just those two, basically?
I will say for you would have to choose at least 4 classes to keep going, or else
Got it.
Hogwarts is going to be like, bro, come on.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, people who don't pass at least 4 tests in OWL year have to retake them in their 6th year.
I have to do it again.
Do I know a crazy amount about this world? Yes. Can I tell you the ingredients in Polyjuice Potion? Yes. Easily. They swing flies? Okay.
Ancient Runes, Muggle Studies, and then Data and Transfiguration are my O's. And I'm not going to get Apparate.
You are not going to get Apparate.
And instead, I'm going to get my extra point into Salvia Hexa.
Okay.
Salvahexia.
Salvio Hexia.
Salvahexia. That is what I want. It is. It is. I'm convincing myself that I don't want Olohomora. But I'm getting Olohomora. Sorry.
No, do it. If that's the character, if that's what feels right for you, freaking do it.
Alohomora.
Yes.
I'm gonna look it up.
I have it right here.
I can find it faster.
Why you guys keep trying
ALO
so much?
HOMORA.
I'm supposed to land
That's
on
what I
the
said.
wing somehow?
Okay. Did you like the quotes that I put under each topic?
Yes, very much so. Hello.
Can you tell that I put in a lot of effort?
Yes. Yes. Charms. I can even charms require precise wand movements, correct pronunciation, and absolute concentration to be successful.
No, that didn't.
Wingardium Leviosa. Harry Potter.
Of course we have, said George. Never been expelled, have we? Spells that are not violent, but not particularly nice either.
But not particularly nice either. Longmore can penetrate through all locking charms. It's so good.
Cannot penetrate through all locking charms.
You can.
No, it cannot.
Yes, you can.
I better have put not.
You did put
Okay,
I'm just
thank
joking
God.
with you. Oh, access charms. Player receives both spells.
Yes.
I could just get a little closer.
Cool.
Caster
So,
locks a single door.
so
Oh.
you get Coloportus and Hello
That makes my decision even fancier, and I'm so much happier. Coloportus.
Raw forces of nature have long been our companion. Some say they are the only forces that truly understand our kind.
4 MP. 5 MP. Why'd you make Coloportus 1 more MP? I'm so curious.
What's that?
I'm just curious. Why'd you make locking something 1 more MP?
It's more effort to actually telekinetically move a lock as opposed to just being all fucking open.
She's gonna end up shooting at
It's
it.
more effort to actually willingly turn the gear. I don't know. That showed more force to me
Okay.
than just saying bro, no.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Just curious. Alright.
Because I also imagine tactically you could use locking doors to get away better.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of uses to it. But I put Alohomora unlock. Coloportus lock. I would kind of wish that those were the spell names. Unlock. Unlocko.
Lock.
Locky. Okay, I'm really happy right now. Cool.
About time.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Alright, so for stats, I didn't get any HP increasing things. I just got MP. So I get 12 more MP and 10 from 5 willpower. So that's 22 MP, which puts me... Do you know how much MP I have?
40 something.
51.
Yep. What is that?
Totally. 22, then it was 29. Yeah. Yep, 51. And I have 15 vital points left.
You have 15 left?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I know. Thank you.
you're welcome.
You true gentleman. I didn't even have to request more water.
You didn't have to pull a Jenny. Love you, Jenny.
You guys! I have to do it. I have to do it every time. Remember that time where she turned into an acid spitting dragon? That was funny.
Remember that one time I got eaten by a snake?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't.
It was funny and awful at the same time. I felt bad, but it was well, it's I have to.
Well. Whatever.
15 vital points. I could put 9 into HP and make it 32.
And hey, if you level up twice, you can become an animagus.
I did say that I envy those people, so I would probably automatically do that.
You would know that McGonagall's Nanny Majas.
Yes, she turns into cats. Yes. Which means that I kind of envy her, which is a weird character trait to have, because I also want to protect my family and all that.
Envy does not mean.
I know.
Like
I'm just
rudeness or cruelty.
I'm just saying it's like a it's an interesting dynamic to have. All right. I'm going to do 32 HP because of +9. Gives me 6 left, and then 57 MP. 32 over 57. 32 over 57. 32 over 57. I kept saying it, so that way I wouldn't forget after I erased them. So I have a pretty good character, I'd say. I'm only worried about having 0 strength and 0 constitution. But whatever. I have to erase my +15. I imagine my starting experience is the exact threshold for 6.
You what?
My starting XP would be the exact threshold to level up to level 6.
So let's actually ignore XP right now because we're not going to be doing it. We're going to be doing something a bit different just for funsies for this short little game.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So level 7, I'm just going to cross out next in XP.
Okay.
So, boop. Oh yeah, my defense starts at 5,
Yes.
like my game.
Yes.
Plus 3, plus 3, plus 1 is a total of 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 diff, I remember that now. And that is a base 12 diff. Because evasion is passive, dexterity is passive, and as long as I'm holding a wand, which I imagine I always will, for the most part, it's 12. I don't think shields are in this game.
They are, but they're not a presentable thing at nauseam.
They exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are spells to conjure a shield, but you do not know them.
I do remember my crit was 14 and higher, if I remember correctly. Because 5 willpower and 5 cunning is plus 10%.
I knew it was 17.
Which lowers it to 18.
One of the two.
And then improved casting,
Mm-hmm.
lowered it to 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got 15% more from nonverbal.
If you use nonverbal.
If I use nonverbal, which I will pretty much always be doing. So I'm going to put 17 with a 14 in parentheses. Spell burst, that's the same thing, so ditto. Arrow down, and then spell failure rate. That's referring to the willpower roll.
Yes. So failure starts at 10.
Because it was dropped to 5, which I don't remember why. Oh, because of the willpower. Because I get a +5 on the roll. So
you have 5 willpower, so it's dropped down to 1 to 5, and then you had improved casting, so it's 1 to 4. Yep. Yeah. Failure on willpower, just so you know, works like your regular rules, where it will drop down to 1 to 3, and that's pretty much as far as it will go.
Gotcha. A 1 consumes the MP, but everything else that fails does not. And then dexterity only fails if their defense is higher.
Yes.
Right?
Or if you roll 1.
Right. Okay. I'm pretty happy with my... I'm going to put that as my attack. The dexterity roll is going to be the attack roll. Kind of... Right? Alright, so it's a D20 plus 5. I think we mashed out that character pretty quick, considering it's a wholly new system. So,
yeah.
Pretty happy with that.
Okay.
And I spent literally half the time trying to decide on spells. So, cool. I am about as ready as I will possibly be. The music is lovely, by the way.
Thank you.
And the recording is picking it up.
This
so I can't
actually,
monetize it, jeez.
This is music from the Slytherin common room, quote unquote.
Excellent. I hate it.
Your story begins. You are a 6th year at Hogwarts, a Gryffindor, well known because of your family ties to Professor McGonagall, head of Gryffindor House, and the Transfiguration teacher. Some think that you are treated very well because of that family tie. Some of them think that you get special privilege. Some of them think that you have it harder because McGonagall's harder on you. Some of them think that you are
She would be, in my opinion.
Some of them think that you are a paragon of virtue. Some of them think that you're a stuck-up prick. Some of them think. Doesn't really matter. People know you, and they have varied opinions of you depending on house, person, age. Doesn't really matter. You are aware that somebody who you once talked to frequently in the hallways, her name is Elvia, and she's a Ravenclaw, recently became head girl. Ravenclaw, year 7, head girl. She was a prefect for the last 2 years. By the way, you are not a prefect, just so you're aware.
Okay.
Head boy is a Slytherin named Connor, and they have recently been making quite a bit of a name for themselves because they've been really handy at finding the troublemakers that have been getting away with a lot of shindigs over the last few years, and so a lot of the faculty really admire what they've been able to do in such a short amount of time. Your story,
literally, like textbook, perfect examples of prefix.
Thank you.
If that's the case.
Your story starts at the end of November. You're right about to enter the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
It is very cold outside. It is snowing, and you are really admiring the glitteriness of the outside.
Right.
You have been approached by the Hufflepuff captain of the dueling club, and he has casually challenged you this afternoon after lunch.
Where is he approaching you?
In the halls.
In the
He's
halls?
very non-threatening.
In which halls?
In the Great Hall.
Oh, he approached me in the Great Hall? Was it before or after we ate?
It was during. You were not quite done with your stew.
Alright, so what does he say to me when he approaches?
He says, "Hi. There's been a rumor going on that you learned something new."
Ah!
Good afternoon. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
Do I know him?
Yes. Like, you know
So there
him.
wouldn't be a greeting? Or, I mean, not a greeting. There wouldn't be an introduction?
Correct.
Okay.
I was hoping you might honor me with another attempt at a duel.
Another?
Because I think that last time you kind of bowled me over. So I would like the opportunity to try again, because it has been a whole year. So, what do you think?
Well, it depends. Have you been training?
Yes.
Wrong.
Is that a yes?
Give some time to think about it.
Your friend Poppy across the table says, "Really, Perry? You know you're going to say yes."
Here we go.
He's devilishly handsome, man.
The Hufflepuff blushes and says, is that a yes?"
Well, now I can't turn you down.
"I'll see you outside then, in the typical grounds under the oak tree."
What is Poppy doing?
Poppy is kind of like waving her hand because it's a hot day.
It's the end of November.
Yeah, it's surprisingly warm. Don't you feel it?
Bye now.
No.
Oh, it must just be me then.
Well, don't have a rack attack over there. When?
After lunch, if you're available, that would be grand.
What does my schedule look like?
You are available for 2 periods after lunch.
2 whole periods?
Yes. You have Transfiguration after those 2 periods, and that finishes your day.
Oh, what a great day. So after lunch,
Let me pull on it to open it.
I'm so sorry. Did you tell me where?
Under the oak tree outside where you guys normally duel. Dueling practice.
Where we normally duel.
The dueling club.
So-
for practice.
Oh, the dueling club. Sorry, dude. I'm like trying to get in character. I'm like, I don't know these things.
No, this is the Hufflepuff talking. He's like, yeah, the dueling club.
Yeah, the dueling, like where we normally meet.
Yeah. Where I cut your ear off and I reattached it.
Really, just a quick question. So, I'm part of the dueling club because I have dueling club training. I'd imagine I'm part of the dueling club.
Yeah.
And I've only fought this dude once a year ago.
From your memory, yeah. It's very possible that you've dueled him before, but your most grand and recent duel with him was a year ago,
Gotcha.
and he's only gotten the courage up to challenge you again now.
Gotcha.
He is a 5th year, and he is the Hufflepuff captain.
January 2000.
He is the Hufflepuff captain of Dueling Club.
I've been very playful so far.
You've been quite flirty, yeah.
Yes. I said, I can't turn you down. I'm gonna live up to the slight prickish bit. You can't turn it down, okay? This is a oak tree. Then we'll say. Well, it would. Ow. What?
Water.
Yes. Thank you. Right, well.
This whole
It
time.
would, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm
silent
literally just
this
like.
whole time.
Everyone just looking at me at this point like, are you going to talk? Yeah.
Is he, is he going to respond? Is this a tactic?
It would honor me for you to have the privilege to learn from me.
He has to think that one over real quick. And he assumes that you are meaning good intent because you're a year older than him. And he nods and says, I'll see you soon then. And he makes his way out of the hall, not quite sure how to close out this conversation.
Did you hear me when I said charm?
Yes.
Good.
Poppy says, what are you doing?
I'm having a bit of fun.
Why? He was being totally nice.
Well, having fun and nice go hand in hand, don't you think?
You're teasing him.
Which is all fun and games.
It's no fun if the person doesn't realize that your kindness is actually just manipulation. Go have fun in your duel.
I actually seem a bit put off by her, and I leave.
She's a bit of a turd.
You're a right bit of a twit, aren't you?
Just like your mother last night. I don't know. What do you do?
I am going to hype up my fellow friends in the Gryffindor house for this duel that's about to happen.
Walk right into it.
Okay.
After she says about the thing about manipulation and whatnot. And I'm put off by it. I leave the table, I turn around, I go back to the table, I stand up on the bench. Because I'm eating at the Gryffindor table.
This is Poppy.
Yeah. What was this guy's name again?
You didn't get his name. He didn't really care.
But I know him.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Give me a lore check to see if you remember.
A 2.
You think it starts with an F.
Yeah. Probably Phineas or Flannel or something. Anyway. I'm going to tell my fellow Gryffindor peers about this duel with. I'm gonna name him as the Hufflepuff captain of the dueling club, and not use his name. And I'm gonna say,
oh wow!
I'm gonna say the time and location.
It's really cold out there, though. Are you sure you're okay with that? He might be trying to trick you. You recognize that this was a first year who doesn't really understand magic yet, but is trying to look out for you.
I'm legitimately gonna like look at this first and be like,
just the whole hall
like
goes
just
silent.
like it's like, what? Do I look like I can get fooled?
No? That's a definitive question mark.
Yeah.
And it's not the boy who said it's someone else.
It's a,
No?
no. That's right. And I just remind everyone about the time and the location. I say, be there or be a four-sided object.
Oh my god. Okay. They agree and they're just like, oh cool, yeah, we better get our mittens because it's freezing out there. What do you do?
Well, if the cold's gonna bother you,
It is. I hope you
then don't go.
do him in quickly so that we can go back inside. Anybody placing bets? He's probably gonna lose, right? 6 sickles.
I stomp on the bench.
6 sickles.
I stomp on the bench
I don't know why I'm
louder.
taking this from you yet because we haven't actually.
Louder. 19.
Hi, we're betting here.
Against me?
You can't prove that.
Oh, please.
You're welcome.
Why, just because he's captain?
Because
You do know what I did to him a year ago, didn't you?
I wasn't here then. I'm only a 5th year.
Who do I hang out with?
Several people, but Poppy's one of your main crowd who just seems to put up with you. Or, sorry, seems to be able to put up with you.
Okay.
And she has great affection for you, actually.
Why was she so mean to me? Yeah. Anyway, and I stroll, I stroll to the oak tree early.
You notice that Poppy's following you from a great distance.
This guy.
I look back and say, "Did I fart?"
Why are you being a dick?
One at a time. One at a
You
time.
know that I'm gonna come watch.
Yes. Why are you so far?
Oh, that's your point. It's because you farted.
Fart check. I definitely farted.
You definitely did.
I rolled a 3.
Several second years walk by going, what the crap?
Conjured beef stew.
Actually, magical law, food cannot just be created and summoned. It can only be duplicated or depleted. Can't just be conjured from nothingness. Anyway, go on.
Duplicated beef stew.
Oh.
Dodging?
Poppy shoos off the second year and says, he's just messing with you, just go. She's caught up with you by now and says, can we just go? You stunk up the hall behind us.
I'm having fun right now.
I'm so glad. Before you exit onto the main ground, she will grab you, turn you towards her, and she will, like, kind of guzzy you up a little bit. She'll tuck in your shirt for you. She'll straighten your tie. She'll straighten your collar. She'll make sure that the hood is over your head and says, it's cold out there. And then she'll pull off her Gryffindor scarf and actually put it around you and say, like, and you hate the cold. Don't let your ego make you forget the things that you love and hate. Okay? And she takes you by the elbow and guides you.
I'm like
inside.
speechless this whole time.
She's not helping
And-
as much as she.
And I am 100% accepting all the things that she did. It seems like a normal thing, but also,
It is a normal thing.
but also it's just sort of like a
Time.
I accept it as like a show dog, about like getting like
All right, yes.
pimped out, basically like properly groomed and whatnot. Like yes, thank you.
Mhm.
It must look good for all the onlookers.
You make your way out there and notice that
How cold is it?
It's if you didn't know any better, it'd be 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It's bloody cold. It's not actually that cold, but it certainly feels that way.
I like back of Poppy. Like, yeah, it's a bit nipply out here, eh?
She's like, yeah. Imagine if you didn't have a scarf.
All I'm doing is dodging.
Thanks.
You're welcome. She puts up her own.
Oh, I forgot about yourself. Actually,
I know.
that's
I've heard it all
actually really sweet.
Yep.
Is she nice?
Yep.
She attractive, friendly.
Actually,
Caring.
quite attractive and friendly, yeah.
I might put it in one of these days, but not yet. I have a 16-year-old Venus. Anyway.
You just said that out loud.
Well,
Alright.
I'm-
Coming? Stop.
My legitimates must be getting better. He's over there waiting for you.
we got there first. Watcher.
Watch her, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Is it first?
Okay. Maybe she helped me a little bit.
Actually,
Well, I suppose
he's,
the captain would get there first, wouldn't he?
he's cleared the field too with a heat spell, so he's melted snow on the ground, so it's an even grassy plain.
I approach the playing field,
You
and I
notice.
respectfully nod before stepping in.
You
And
notice.
Body with that?
I say, well, I like what we did with the place.
Thank you. I figured that'd be more fair. We don't really want to be slipping and sliding on Slush, do we?
Right.
Yeah.
If we get that far.
What's going on here?
Sorry, I can't hear you over the wind.
It was the wind.
Oh. You notice that there are 3 second or first year Hufflepuffs all there watching, kind of like, you can't believe we're here.
Like toes are falling off. They're like,
It's fucking freezing. Help me.
Alright.
One of them doesn't have a left shoe. Yeah. Specifically the left shoe.
Who dressed you?
Me. As you wait and maybe banter, maybe like practice a few spells, or like pretend to be stretching, or like pretend to stretch your rigid wand, several other people come out of the castle to watch. Several people you know don't have free periods right now. And you're like,
I knew
all right,
she was alive.
well, I'm not a prefect,
Yeah.
but Poppy is. But she seems to be turning a blind eye to it. So, that's cool.
I guess I'll just have to make this fast.
Yeah. The Hufflepuff lad says, are you ready?
Only if you remind me of what your name was.
It's Theodore,
Thank you, Theodore.
but thank you for asking.
I'm sorry. I just would feel horrible beating someone into the ground, having not known their name. Stupefy.
Okay.
It's
Few things.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Few things.
I'm kidding. I'm
One.
kidding. I know that's disrespectful. I wouldn't actually do that.
1. You have so steadily gone from like Poppy liked that, Poppy disliked that, Poppy liked that, Poppy disliked that, Poppy like that's just this Fallout 4
Poppy will
mechanic.
remember this for eternity.
Like up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm sorry. I only showed kindness. I'm gonna stomp you into the fucking ground.
Yeah, listen.
Just like that.
Listen. It's, my character is kind of a fucking loose cannon, man. Alright. Listen.
Okay.
This is actually a character. I am terribly sorry I had forgotten your name. But it didn't feel right not knowing before we dueled. And that's sort of like a, not for everyone's ears kind of comment. I'm like, being real with him.
Poppy liked that.
It's nice.
Theodore said, I forgive you. There are literally hundreds of people at this school. It's hard to remember everybody.
Can I call you Teddy?
Yeah. Most people do.
Actually, I'm starting to like this guy.
His last name is Seville. He has a brother named Simon and a brother named Alvin.
Wait, is that Teddy who? I
I'm making
missed the last name.
I'm making an Alvin and the Chipmunks joke.
Okay. Well, what was his last name? I missed
Seville.
it. Okay. Okay.
Alright. So you have a choice here. Do you get to jump on him, or do you do
No.
the traditional...
That's very traditional.
Okay. So
it wouldn't be right otherwise.
then he asks you before you begin, do you want to do until the last man standing, or would you like to do the first of 3 hits?
I would like to do the first to be knocked over.
Okay. He says, I hope you're ready, because I've learned something new.
Oh. Do share.
Did you just call me a douche hair?
No, do share. As in, share your newfound spell.
No douche hair!
Oh, do share. No, after the traditional, like, introduction, I'm really, like, wand, not completely at my side like an idiot, but I'm just kind of, like, open, like, oh, do share.
So I'm to assume that you give him initiative by that
Yes,
action?
yes. Seeing as how I stomped him last year. He got me at 20.
He rolled a 1 on dex.
Well, 1.
So that automatically stops him because he's like, what's the movement? Your turn passes.
Ooh, mate.
Well, your turn goes to your turn.
I actually do a ton. I'm like, mate. And I'm going to... It's okay to hurt him, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't want to hurt him that much, though. Another question I had was that, are there, like... I know there's, like, telekinetic abilities in this, but are there any, like, base level ones that would go along with these first 7?
What specifically are you
I
hoping for?
was looking to, like, push him over.
Oh, I see.
I'm going for the embarrassment of him, like,
That would be-
completely forgetting, and then I go, oh, mate, and then just topple him.
That would fall under Flipendo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I thought about getting Flipendo, but Stupefy is just too good. I mean, if I could stun him, I could just, like, run up to him and push him over. Like,
Flipendo is like magic missiles, where it's definitely not overpowered, but definitely a good level 1 spell.
Oh, yeah. Flipendo's great. All right, so I'm going to keep that. I'm like, oh, mate, Stupefy. Just get him, like, immediately.
Dex check.
So, Dex, 11 plus 5.
Pass. Willpower.
Willpower, 16.
That is definitely...
I didn't specify that I did non-verbal, so I'm just going to let it slide. It's just a regular success.
Okay. Damage.
Because I would have... Man, I would have wanted to flex by not having said anything. Because it would have been such a flex to not say it. Damn it. Missed opportunity because I didn't specify. Damage is maxed. 6 plus magic of 3 is 9.
9 damage. And he is stunned for a turn.
How far away is he?
He is about 8 or 9 meters.
I'm going to use the rest of my action to get as close to him as possible.
Okay. He will not resist the stun, even though it's very hard to do so anyway. And what little he can do is go like that, but the point is still aiming like towards the sky, not at you, but his wand is between you and him. It is your turn.
How close am I?
You are easily within like 2 or 3 steps from him right now. You can get there in a minor action easily. People all around you are just like, go easy on him, he's a Hufflepuff, he's a Snidget. And then other people are like, don't, I'll lose sickles. And then Poppy's like, make it quick.
I'm going to walk forward a couple more steps. And minor... yeah. So, like, this is going to be a minor movement and minor action of speaking because I'm doing them both simultaneously. Like, I'm going to approach him, and I'm going to say, listen, I don't want to hurt you again. Just let go. I'm going to take his wand out of his hand and put it on the ground. Set this one out, mate.
Strength check for me, please.
Strength is going to resist. All right. 9.
2.
I'm not looking to break his wand.
So he's holding it, and you literally just go, like, against the fingers, pluck, and then straight down into the snow.
No, I'm not dropping. I'm respectfully like a gentle toss.
Okay.
So it doesn't get injured.
So
Basically.
the stun melts away, and he like buckles backward, like catching himself. And it's like hands go to the side, and he's like, all right.
I pick his wand up and give it back to him after he clearly surrenders.
About a cadaver. No.
Literally everyone in the audience is like, Jesus Christ!
Christ! Get Dumbledore! Get Dumbledore! Alright. You win.
I extend a handshake and say, go for it, mate. As captain of the dueling club, I would really like to train with you more.
He's really, like, surprised at how humble you are. Because it's not the impression you got from the Great Hall. But also, he's laughing at himself, at his own foolishness, because he's like, I talk up this spell that I learned, and I could barely even remember the direction. It's actually down, left, over, up, down, and I cannot remember that in the middle of battle. I can show you right now, but I won't.
Show me next time we meet. I know there's a lot of people who are supposed to be in class right now, so.
Let's see.
You draw a crowd.
I do. I kind of made an announcement after you left.
Oh.
Shame on me, I'm a bit of a showman. I like it.
Poppy grabs your shoulder and she's like, he means a show off. Let's go! And then grabs your elbow and starts guiding you directly back towards the castle, and then makes a very nice and sweet announcement to get the back to class now.
You cold?
Yes.
Would you like me to make the announcement for you? I share some of my clothes because she's been in the cold longer.
Like you hide her from sight.
Yeah.
Poppy says to go inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, listen up, underlings. Get back to class.
Everyone starts to meander inside. You see several Knuts and several Sickles exchanging hands, and you're just like, yeah, wait a minute.
I'm legitimately like, alright, who bet against me?
Some third-year girl is like, it wasn't my idea, it was my sister's, it was her over there. And as you look over at that person, there's no one there. You're like, motherfucker.
Fell for the old major look. Damn.
As people start to disperse, you see them go upstairs up the spiral staircase, downstairs into the dungeons, back to the Great Hall because they don't actually have a free period, they want more lunch, whatever. You are aware, you're back inside. It's warm. Poppy's shivering under your cloak, and you're just like, ooh. Only like 2 layers of clothes are between us. It's so hot. But you also remind yourself, oh crap. I promised my aunt that I was going to meet her for tea.
Before Transfiguration.
Yeah, what should I do about that?
McGonagall, being the sweet lady that she is, she's hard on people, but she's sweet underneath it all. Do I know... She probably approves of Poppy quite a bit if she's head girl. Well, not head girl, but prefect.
That nod was not to confirm that she likes Poppy, but that she is a prefect, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to offer to bring Poppy for tea with my aunt.
Oh.
What's wrong?
You remember the last time that she... I'm not doing that again. No.
Well,
I'm not doing that again.
You're going to have to draw my memory on...
Okay. Do you really not remember... Okay.
Do I not remember?
You don't remember. Actually, okay, the honest truth is, your character remembers, but you remember. You're playfully saying, like, what happened?
I don't know what happened.
Your aunt kindly acted like I wasn't there the whole time, transfigured a vase into a statue of a bird, and hid me from view, because only family is allowed to gather in her tea room.
You want to come along as my girlfriend?
She covers her face in her hood. Let me think. How would Poppy respond? That's it. She would splutter. Is this your unceremonious way of asking me?
I'm gonna play with her a little bit and be like, oh, you're so cute when you can't find words.
It's not very often. And you can peek like under her hood, and she's actually like beet red.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And she's like, I should go to class.
Oh, sweet.
She doesn't have class.
Yeah, I'll say, you have class right now?
No. I should go study for the OWLs. That was my excuse last year. It worked then.
She's the same year as me, isn't she?
Yeah, she's gone through Hogwarts with you.
Yeah. Studying for OWLs again.
You never can be rusty in a place that's magical.
I do believe I made you uncomfortable.
I don't know what you mean. I'm not wet. It's the sweat.
Right, from the cold.
Fuck.
I bring her in tighter to me
Okay.
and try to comfort her.
She will actually, like, cave into you.
I'm going to draw back her hood, and I am going to, like, brush her hair out of her face or something along those lines.
D20 dex check.
Poke her out. 10 plus 5.
Alright, you do so not as, like, majestically as you were going for, but definitely effectively, and so that her forehead is completely exposed.
Yes. It's a hot forehead. No, I'm kidding. I don't
So
say that.
curvy.
Such a nice forehead.
Such curve.
Yeah.
We're really on the forehead.
It's such a stupid use of power. I am going to cast Periculum. Just, and we'll look at the sparks. We'll look at her face and say, "You know, you're almost as red as those sparks."
She shoves you and says, "Shut up! You can't say things like that and then not really have a reaction, and then you're just like making a big deal. It's not cool, okay?" And then like, own up to it or stop it.
Oh, I struck a nerve.
But you know Poppy enough to know that this is really like her end game.
Yeah.
Like, pull an ultimatum.
Yeah. Listen, you know me. I like to tease. But I do, rather, I'm fond of you. You have a way of keeping me in check, and I like that. It's going to be the first time I'm actually a little bit shy, just because I'm saying it, like, out loud as, like, a very clear statement.
She will take a step forward. She'll take a half step forward.
For a quarter step?
She'll take an eighth step forward. Then she'll take a rest. And then with a diminuendo, she will do. Okay, she will lean up and kiss right here. Not quite the lips, not quite the cheek, not quite the chin. And then she'll go backward and she'll be like, "Go have your tea. I'm gonna go study. And bye." And you will watch her go up the staircase that you will know leads up to the Grand Library.
I make my leave as she turns away and makes her way up the stairs, but I look back just to see if she'll look back.
She does not.
I'm kidding. Alright, I'll go.
Stupefied!
I go have tea. That was very sweet.
I will say that by now you will have recovered all MP from Stupefy easily. And Periculum. You make
Periculum's free.
Is Periculum free? Or is it
No,
one?
it costs 1. But it's free for me.
No.
Yeah, it is. I got efficiency.
No.
I cast Periculum all day, baby.
Woo! Peric. Okay.
Fine, I could cast it 57 times in a row. Actually, I can cast it infinitely because I would just regain the MP.
You make your way upstairs into the upper courtyard that leads into the Transfiguration courtyard, because it is a courtyard of transfiguring magic that is a courtyard. On your way there, you see someone that you actually have to stop yourself a little bit and actually like gauge the situation real quick. because there is a student that goes by the name of Hatham that has been a real problem lately.
In what way?
The Dark Lord fell within the last 2 years.
Mm.
And within those last 2 years, several of his followers have recently gone to prison, Azkaban, or have been killed off, or have gone into hiding, or acted like they were under the Imperius Curse. Who knows if that's true or not.
Right.
Hatham is a son of one of those that went to Azkaban.
Okay.
Okay? He is very tall and gangly, long dark hair, definitely a Slytherin, 7th year, has barely made it to this point of his education. And there is a significant rumor that he has been expelled within the last 24 hours. So seeing him is surprising, but not necessarily impossible, because it's like, okay, they gave him some time for his parents to come get him, I guess, or like he has some time to finish up, like give things back, I guess. I don't really know. But you see him, and he sees you at the top of the stairs in the courtyard, and there's this quiet, like just sizing each other up. You don't really have prominent history with him, but you know of each other.
Right.
You being a relative of a professor, and him being the ugly duckling, as it were. He spits on the ground and then walks off into an opposite direction away from you, knowing that it's leading away from you. Down a corridor.
Is spitting on grounds like actually looked down upon, or is that like a normal thing that like kids our age would do?
It is, spitting on the ground basically means you're scum to me. As he is walking, you notice a fluttering of parchment leave his left pocket and fall to the ground. I want you to give me a cunning check.
9 + 5, 14.
You are under the impression he is not aware of the parchment leaving his pocket. That it does not look intentional.
So if there was like, this moment, this silent moment of him spitting and then beginning to walk away, I'm pretty far because I'm at the top of these big stairs. But this moment, he's within speaking range, I'd imagine.
You would be raising your voice to talk to him.
Yeah.
He's about 20 meters away.
I would actually greet him, like, by the time that he spat. But if he spits before I greet him, I would still greet him.
I'm going to say that you greet him beforehand, because that would be a more instantaneous thing to happen.
No.
He would then consider you.
But it would be a questionable greeting. It would be like a, Hatham.
He would still glare at you silently, spit on the ground,
And the same
it would
thing
still
happens?
play the same way.
As he gets, a couple steps away, and as I realize that it looked non-intentional, I would actually say, Hatham, you dropped something.
Yeah.
And I go with the lawful approach.
True check.
15.
Disbelievingly, you watch him continue to walk away.
I'm going to not necessarily try to convince him, because that would be weird, but like, you did drop something. I'm like raising my voice, like, you dropped something. It's parchment. I don't think you let go of it.
Cunning check.
20.
You know that his behavior is strongly suggesting that there is some sort of magical interference happening, but you're not quite sure how, but it's striking some sort of memory from some sort of class you've had. But you know that something is wrong, but he is rounding the corner and out of sight.
That's really interesting. I'm going to go ahead and waste the MP. I don't think anything's going to happen, but I'm going to cast Revelio.
I can't.
Dex check first.
Where are you targeting?
The courtyard.
The courtyard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's within vision. Like, the whole thing's within vision, right?
So you're going to basically cast to the totem area. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm basically going to, like, lightly jog down the stairs, because I was walking the whole time, like, talking to him. When I get down to, like, the bottom of the stairs, and he's, like, out of sight of Revelio. Dex 19. Willpower 12. It's not a silent. I need to remember to say that, but...
The spell, you've done it so many times that 19 basically is just like you do it like the back of your...
Yeah.
You do it like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like it.
And so you cast Revelio on the courtyard.
Shit, I'm sorry, hold up.
Go ahead.
I just realized I normally have my phone out when I play, just to make sure that I'm not missing any messages.
Mm-hmm.
It, like, just dawned on me. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yet again. All I can do is dodge.
Stupid thing. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. So yeah, I do it like it's the back of my hand. Yeah.
You reveal nothing pertaining to Hatham and his behavior. But you do sense that there is something left behind in the courtyard, but it is somebody's backpack.
So the backpack was obscured?
It was obscured behind bushes. It wasn't necessarily a secret, but but you revealed it from out of sight, not because it's like nefarious and hidden and dark and evil.
Yeah.
It's an evil backpack. It's more like
I'm just aware of
it
it
is.
because it was behind something, but now it's revealed behind something.
Yes.
Got it. So,
But pertaining to Hatham, nothing is revealed.
got it. I'm going to first examine the parchment from looking over it to make sure it's safe to touch.
You see that it is a handwritten note. Looks like it was ripped off of some bit of parchment straight across, so it's not like a corner or anything, straight across. Handwritten, black ink, looks like a curvy type of handwriting. You don't recognize the source at all, and you notice the word sacrifice.
Do I think that there's anything else written on there?
Yes.
But the only word that's showing is sacrifice.
From this view that you have of like
Got it.
leaning over, yeah. If you actually looked at it closer, you'd probably be able to read more.
I'm going to prod it with my wand, just to move the parchment.
You were able to move it. Nothing happens. Doesn't burst into flames.
Yeah. I'm going to flip it over with my wand.
Nothing is written on the backside.
Flip it back over to where it says sacrifice. Are there other words?
Yes. So now that you're like actually bending over and actually like using your wand to manipulate it, since you're now further down and able to see it better, it says, "We will need a blood sacrifice in order to awaken the golem."
She's got big guns.
A call out
What do you call
for anyone.
Alright, that
it?
works.
What do you
Help
say?
Professor.
Almost instantly, the door to your great aunt's classroom clatters open, and she's like, "Botter!"
I knew you'd have joy in that.
What?
I tell her what happened. Like, 100% from front to back. Everything.
She comes over, she looks down the hallway where Hatham theoretically disappeared, and looks down and casts Wingardium Leviosa to levitate it. She then does like a spinning motion around the parchment to reveal any sort of jinx on it. She seems to detect nothing and then touches it, opens it, flips it over, casts Revelio on it herself, and there's nothing to really see. It's not an enchanted, it's not a damaging paper or anything, it's just a note as if it's written off of something else. And she says, "Do you know where this came from?"
It came from... I tell her, like, I tell her everything, so she knows that Hatham dropped it.
I mean, which textbook this came from.
I'm afraid not.
Good. Come inside.
Before we go, the
I love how they stuck
backpack?
Harry Potter reference in the back.
That's you. And she'll summon the backpack to herself, and she's like, "I'll go for her second class." Yeah.
Of course,
alright.
of course. And just a point of order real quick, out of character. I've heard people debate how to pronounce Accio. Is it Accio or is it Accio?
I flip between
Or
the two.
Accio.
I honestly, it's
Right.
never Accio.
Yeah.
It's either Accio or Accio.
Okay.
But I actually prefer Accio.
Yeah.
Just that time I said Accio.
Yeah.
So.
I was just curious. All right.
She will bring you into her tea room. It's already been laid out in preparation for you. There's a nice yerba mate tea, and you're like, I hate yerba mate, but I'll appease her, whatever.
It's her tea.
The candles are lit. The fire is lit, and she gestures vaguely to your most common chair, and you're just like, okay. And she'll look again at the paper, sit down herself across the little table from you, set it aside, and say,
Wasn't Hatham expelled?
yes.
What's he doing here?
We give expelled students 2 days to gather their materials, to say goodbye to friends, to really say goodbye to the castle before they are fully allowed, or they're fully obliged to leave. Hatham is a special case because he has no family to go home to. He is technically of an adult age, but Dumbledore has taken a special liking to trying to find him a proper place to go for his own mental well-being. Both of his parents are in Azkaban, and no one else will take him in because they are fearful that he has too much of a liking to the dark arts. So, tomorrow, he will be out of here. And Dumbledore is optimistic that he'll find some sort of home for Hatham to stay in. Now, that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is that the textbook that came from is from a book of secrets or theoretical secrets about the castle. And there's this idea that there was a hidden wing of the castle that Merlin created while he spent time here. And that there was a golem somewhere inside that would animate from Merlin's will if a sacrifice was made to it. The golem was meant to protect wizards from muggles. If Hatham has found Merlin's wing and has found the golem, he may be able to potentially hide in there until he's able to awaken the golem to do what have you on muggles. That is my fear. However, I'm feeling like there is something about the situation that's not quite right.
Yeah, I try to get his attention.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I dropped it in. Well, I was trying to call out to him. Let's just get stopped. He just completely ignored me.
Hatham is not unintelligent. He's just unfortunate. I want you just to keep an eye out if there's anything wrong, if there's anything strange that comes about with Hatham in the next 24 hours. If you see anything strange, if you hear the word Merlin being flitted around the halls, if you see any doors in the hallways that you've never seen before, don't go in them.
Yes.
And you can come tell me. Or any faculty member. Except for Snape. He's a douchebag. You understand?
I do, Professor.
Now, have your tea. You guys have a nice, awkward yet casual, yet funny, yet also frightening tea time with each other.
Do you think... Do you think he might have dropped the parchment on purpose for me to find it?
No, I don't believe so. If he did, my only thought is that he was hoping to lure you to the golem to sacrifice you. It'd be a petty trick, a murderous trick. But again, I feel like there is something that we're not seeing.
No, I got the impression that he was under some type of a spell. The way that he was ignoring me.
What type of spell?
I don't know. Maybe he was deaf temporarily. Maybe my words never got to him. Maybe he's acting on someone's behalf.
It seems miraculous that there would be somebody who is manipulating other students in such a way, especially with how we've had such a run of good luck finding troublemakers. I don't know. Try not to worry about it. I'll let the other staff members know. She's also written like a note to Dumbledore and like sent it off to his way as you guys were having tea.
Mm.
But again, if you see anything strange, you can do something about it. You can let us know. The Wing of Merlin is only said to appear during certain times of the decade. So if it's suddenly here, and he has found it, and he has found access to it, he's incredibly lucky. But again, this note could just be old research that he was doing in the library one day, and it happened to be in his pocket. He could have been trying to use it as tissue for his chewing gum.
Alright.
It does not become you to try to find conspiracies. How is Poppy?
She's good.
Have you doinked that yet? Cameron's face! She's like, what the hell?
Later I'll be like, Professor.
She's like, what? I got jiggy with it sometimes.
Gross.
Professor! 10 points from Gryffindor.
She's under the impression you don't like her much.
As a student, she's great. But she is not family. Unless you make her family.
Yeah, well,
This has always been your problem. Realizing who you really want to be versus how you want people to see you. If you are ready to accept Poppy as a person who will always be part of your life, then I accept her too. If not, then I don't see her. Not in that way.
I think I need to see Poppy.
Scene ends. 10,000 XP. You are outside in the Transfiguration courtyard.
I'm writing that down.
No. There's no XP.
That's not XP. You level up when I say level up.
What do? You know that venturing back the way you came will probably be the fastest way to the library, but also going left is the direction
You read my mind.
that he went.
I was looking for a reason to take a scenic route to the library.
You go left.
I follow the path that I believe Hatham took. But I'm going to be... Can I do like a sneak, but like not actively like looking as if I'm sneaking?
You can be casually on guard with how you move. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
It's not going to be a full-on sneak.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to be taking the path I think he took, in such a way that looks like I'm casual about it. And if I see anyone of interest, I'm going to immediately, as long as I'm not, being watched, I'm going to immediately kind of like hide around a corner or something to listen.
If you follow in his direction, turn that same corner that he did, you will come eventually to either a staircase downward or a left turn. There is no sign of him.
Well, I don't really have much of a history with him, so I wouldn't know like his general route. Which way is the most Slytherin-iest way?
Down.
I go down.
You go down and you are back in the main hall,
Mm-hmm.
where you were kissed, sort of fondled,
Kind of.
admired,
Sure.
sort of. You are back in the main hall. And you're like, this doesn't help me. There's so many other ways to go now.
Mm-hmm.
You can continue to go downward into the dungeons. You can go towards the library, to the bathroom, off right. You can go to the
I'm going to
Gryffindor
take this
common room.
opportunity because I have probably a whole nother period's worth of time to go get Potter and tell her what happened.
You go to the library, and you actually run into her as she is leaving, and she's like, I have to go to herbology. What?
Right, herbology. Well, I just wanted to tell you that... oh, the hell with it. And I'm just going to kiss her. Just like, she's like making her way to like herbology, but I'm going to like kind of guide her toward me. Not like a super duper swoop or anything.
Okay. D20. Dexterity.
I put her mouth, or I put her nose in my mouth. 11 plus 5.
Lovely. You aim properly for her lips and even get your top lip in between her lips so that your bottom lip is under her bottom lip, and then your tongue slightly prods along her lower lip, and you actually get a automatic, involuntary, but subtle moan.
Great.
From her.
Great.
She's 16.
Great.
Her hands like lightly like touch the front of your robes like to brace herself, and then as you let her go, she's like staggering and her glasses are like slightly askew. And you see that there's like that annoying smudge. Oh, you don't have glasses. There's like an annoying smudge if you kiss people. It's so fucking annoying. And so there's that, and she's like, I gotta go to her. Professor Sprout's really needing assistance, but the fang geraniums are really hungry lately, and they're just...
Careful with those. I couldn't find the words, but I'll catch up with you later. After Transfiguration.
Yeah, you will. You definitely will. I'll find you in the normal spot. Okay. And she turns around and just makes her way down. And you realize that you're actually feeling slightly self-conscious because you're like, oh my god, did she like it?
Yeah, I put myself forward there. Yeah.
Did she like it, or is she running away right now?
Yeah.
You're in the front of the library. Cunning check, please.
11 plus 5.
You see Elvia, head girl, sitting just inside the doorway reading quite a large tome and taking notes. Just something you see.
Yeah.
Do you do anything?
Yes. How close is she?
You breathe. How can I breathe? She is 5 meters away.
I'll be... Elvia.
She perks up and she perks up and slowly turns.
What you reading there?
Oh, ancient Murmish spells that we can't even say with our own tongues. Actually really interesting.
Fascinating. Did you see any of that?
If you were to actually enter the library, are you inside the library or are you still outside?
I'm still outside.
Okay.
But she's like within vision, right?
Yeah. And she'll say, no, what happened?
Well, I just put my foot in my mouth, didn't I? Nothing.
Okay. Are you okay? Like, you're seeing the head girl and her being all like, have you been confounded? Like, what's going on?
Definitely not confounded. Maybe personal confundus.
Oh. Girl? It's okay.
How'd you know? You saw, didn't you?
No. Was it with a guy?
I
mean, no shame if it was.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No,
All right.
No. Right.
Have a good day.
Do you want to give me some advice?
Oh. Sure. What do you need?
I think I may have kissed a girl that I liked a little bit too early on, and I don't know if she liked it, and I'm a little worried, and
She'll put her hand up and say, "Is this Poppy?"
How'd you know? You saw it, didn't you?
I did not see anything. However, if it's Poppy, believe me, it was not too soon. What has taken you so long? Also, you know Poppy better than anyone at this school. If she gave a weird reaction, you probably know the actual reason why.
I'm gonna like perk up a little bit, like do like that like popped collar thing. We're like, all right.
You are a more significant influence and person of note here than you think you are. Having your attention on someone has got to be intimidating for her. That's all I'll say. That's all I will say.
Well, thanks for clearing my head a little bit. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Work on growing that mermaid's tongue.
That
was kind of hot.
I was trying to. I was trying. Oh, that felt weird. I was trying to. Okay, bye.
I was gonna do like one of those like sidle steps. Like starts
you don't even move. Just.
Someone cast Guardian Leviosa on me. It's just moving to the side.
Yep. All right. Where do you go?
I'm gonna go to the dungeon like I'd originally wanted to. Sans Poppy, because I didn't realize that she had a class.
No, you only think of yourself. All right. Woohoo!
You're damn right.
You know you're on the right track.
How so?
Because you hear someone, probably a fourth-year Slytherin, saying something like, "And Hatham was just fucking gibbering about something." I don't even know.
Where do I hear that from?
You round the corner. The lanterns down here are yellow-green, just for flavor. And also, you see two Slytherin boys kind of like, because they're Slytherin. And they're walking near you to go up the stairs that you just descended. And they're just kind of jabbing at each other, making weird comments. And you're hearing them speak about Hatham now ribbing on him, saying that he must have just gone by. You can now see them right there.
I take in the information, and I walk past them as I would normally.
They both glance at you, then look away, not interested.
Yeah, I do the same. I notice.
Where do you go?
I continue downstairs because I imagine I'm passing them on the stairs. Yeah.
No, you hit the bottom, and you are now on the platform at the bottom.
Okay.
And they pass you to go up the stairs.
Gotcha.
You have a choice
as
left or right.
As they look at me, disinterested, as they pass me, I'm gonna like say out of the side of my mouth, like, "Don't trip and fall."
I think that kid just sneezed. I don't really know what's going on.
I have to. They're Slytherin.
Yeah, of course.
And then I am going to.
No, magic in the hallways.
I'll take a few more steps to make sure that I'm out of their sight. And I'm going to slow my pace to a near crawl. Just like, I'm not crawling, but very slow pace. And I'm slowing my pace to specifically listen.
You hear... cunning check, please.
4 plus 5.
You hear the sound of dripping. And then, with that steady pace of drips, you start to hear squelching.
Some type of footsteps. But, how distant? I mean, if I hear that, it's probably pretty close. Is it just like in the next room?
It's down the hall at the very least, to your right.
Like, I'm going to continue down the hall as silently as possible. I'm going to enter sneak mode.
Dex check.
19 plus 5.
You see absolutely no one, but as the brick walls surround you on both sides, because this is the dungeon and it's colder down here, you are familiar with these layouts begrudgingly because you really didn't like potions that much. But you're also aware that there is an odd shadow moving along the left wall, along the left side. It kind of becomes another T, and there's a shadow moving, showing that somebody is moving that direction. They do not see you. You do not see the source, but it kind of moves out of sight.
I'm not going to follow them. I'm going to follow the shadow. Just to give you an example of how much distance I'm keeping, basically.
You make your way down, and there's the sound of moist clops down this wet hallway, because it's always seemingly wet down here, and it smells gross. You make your way forward, and the squelching sound of footfalls suddenly stops. You continue to move, and you are passing the potions dungeon now, and it smells bitter, like they're boiling oil right now, like car oil. And eventually you come to the end of the hallway, and you see a person just kind of leaning against a door, like fiddling with something in their hand.
If spells are cast, such as like Revelio, do people in the area know that it was cast?
It really depends on each spell and if you are vocal. Revelio is not a glowing spell, so it can just be cast mutely and invisibly.
I will do that. I will do that with an emphasis on the, like, not targeting the person, but including the person in the door and part of the hallway. Because I imagine there's a bit of a range. Like, I can't do it on everything that I see, I imagine. So just focusing it there. That's a crit.
You reveal that what they're messing with is a note that they have written and are trying to like fold into like a fancy origami shape, but really failing at it. And it holds some sort of personal secret. You also reveal that this is not Hatham.
Yeah. Do I hear anything else?
There is
like
movement
on the other side of the door.
For the door that they're sitting in front of. You can't hear it. Potions classroom is definitely active with students. There's also more ways to explore here. There's a staircase leading even further down. There's a way to go right, way to go left. The door that you can see with them.
Do I know who this person is?
No. Actually, that's not fair. Give me a d20.
12.
Yeah, you do. He is also in the dueling club. His name is... His name is Sylvester.
There you go. Oof. I don't want to go about this. Do I know Sylvester's schedule?
No. I'm going to make myself a mixed drink. Do you want one?
A mixed drink? No, no thanks.
Okay.
Just more water. Thank you. Oof, this is a good one. I like this.
Do you kind of love that this is Harry Potter?
Yes, I do. All right, I'm gonna approach Sylvester genuinely, like friendly, genuinely.
Okay.
So I'm gonna deactivate sneak and stroll down the hallway toward him, and basically be like, "Hey, Sylvester, right?"
He will turn around, shocked, quickly fold the origami-ish note figure and jam it into his robe pocket. Look at you. You can see that he's like flustered and embarrassed, and he'll recognize that it's you, and he'll go, "Oh, hey, Nugget."
Okay, just out of character, do I know why he calls me Nugget?
Yes. I called you Nugget because in your first year in the dueling club, as a first-year student, you shat yourself trying to duel a fifth year. And literally let out a pebble of poop. So, he's younger than you in 5th year, but that story has preceded you.
Yes. I let out a kind, acknowledging chuckle to show that I've moved on from that. And that the Nugget name doesn't really bother me anymore.
He sneers at your chuckling.
I'm like,
Faggot.
yeah. Yeah. Like, as interesting as this is, I'm actually,
As interesting as your insulting is.
yeah. As interesting as this is, no, what I'm about to say is interesting. Or believe it or not, rather, I should say. I'm actually looking for Hatham. I overheard that he was down here. He dropped something earlier. I want to make sure it gets to him.
Your mentioning of a dropped item changes his visual expression. So you asking about him, he got him kind of like defensive, like, yeah, right, like I'll tell you that. He's my Slytherin homie dog. But then you saying, when he drops something, I really need to get back to him. He's like...
But I don't have it. McGonagall has it.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't show him anything, but you're like, I have something for him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. He went that way, but I mean, like, the Slytherin common room is down that way, and if he went in, you're not going to be able to, like, get it to him. But yeah, he went further down. Further down the hall, not further down the stairs.
I'm going to do a listening check. Because he's standing in front of a door, right?
Yep.
18. Plus 5 cunning.
You hear nothing. Nothing coming through the door, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that guard that was hiding, cowarding, like a coward in my game that was solo with you.
Right.
Right. Not like that.
Yeah. That was a funny situation.
It was really funny. I'm just like, there's something here, but there's something there, but there's something here.
Classic. I want to say, you're right, good point. Listen, I've only heard rumors, but, I mean, do you know why he got expelled?
He rolls his eyes and says something like, probably another thing that he's been framed for. You have no idea how many things people just assume that he's done. He's really not a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, under the, eczema.
Oh, I know. I figure, you're closer to him than... Oh, geez. I totally lost my accent.
Dude, I totally understand.
Yeah. Well, right, I figured you guys are kind of close. I'm actually just trying to get a better feel for the guy, really, because, I mean, us Gryffindors, we're pretty far from the truth, I'd imagine. It's me being very, very humbled right now.
Give me a cunning check to see if you can convince him of this sudden humbling.
Yeah. 8 plus 5.
He'll blink and say, yeah, most Gryffindors are unbearable. Like I said, he went down that way.
Right. Not so much where he went, but I just wanted to know a little bit more about, like, why he got expelled. And then I just, off the top of my head, like, say something that I heard.
He'll blink and say, well, that's new to me, but I don't know the reason that he's been told that enough is enough. I know that he has been violent in the past, but he also says that he's just defending himself. That the truth is, man, it really freaking sucks when you are blamed for something that you didn't do. And I'm talking about, like, if your parents are criminals, people will assume that you're gonna just do the same shit your parents did. and even blame you for what happened during the war. So, yeah, a lot of fucking Gryffindors have attacked him in the hallways. But because he's a Slytherin, and because he looks the way he does, people claim that he attacked first.
I'm like nodding my head and like
you notice
like
that he's doing this with his tongue as he's like watching you analyze what he just said.
Oh, that's interesting. That is really interesting. Wish I had more spells.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Cast Periclim at his face and run. Break up!
I want to say, well, to kind of piggyback on the whole idea,
to my knowledge, you've never done anything to him, so I think that you're pretty square.
yeah, but something happened earlier, in Hatham fashion, he spat on the ground when he saw a Gryffindor, but he
Can
dropped
you blame
something.
him?
Well, after that, no, but he did drop something, and then I was trying to get his attention, and he just ignored me, like.
He's not really trusting of people anymore, man. Like, he and I
really felt like he was under some kind of a spell.
I just saw him. He's fine.
Well, it was a little bit ago. He could have gone off the effects of the spell, maybe.
He may have also just not wanted to talk to you.
That's true. Sorry, I do have a habit of overthinking things. You got something in your teeth?
No. Why?
Sorry, I just noticed. You're moving your tongue around a lot.
I have a cold sore.
Distracting, sorry.
I have a cold sore.
Do I say the cold sore? Oh, and like the inside was okay.
Yeah.
Right. A cold sore. Wish I knew that like healing spell.
An apneo.
Yeah.
It's like my throat's clear.
no, there was another one that was like it like heals like a minor amount or whatever.
Yep.
So fucking difficult. There's things I could do, but I don't want to raise suspicion. I'm gonna make note, basically, of the conversation. Be like,
I'm sorry. Okay.
right. I'd be like, Alright, well, I mean, if that's all. Just if you see him again, because I'm not down here very often.
Car next to ours.
Just let him know that I got something he dropped. I'm gonna walk away casually the way that I came.
The way you came?
Mm-hmm.
So you did not follow the direction that he's saying?
The direction that he gestured to, leading to the common room? No.
Okay.
Because that would raise suspicion.
Okay.
Because if I did that, then it's like, why is he going over there when he knows he can't go into the common room?
Okay. You leave him behind.
As I round the corner to the base of the stairs again, or I think that's where I was, basically still within earsight.
So you're by the potions door, I'll say.
Yeah.
Around the corner.
Yeah. Around the corner, potion door. I want to go back into snake mode, and I want to hang out. I want to hang out for a little bit, until someone either comes or if I hear something peculiar. 15 plus 5.
You find a good shadow to hide in between two lanterns that are quite far apart, two torches that are quite far apart, and you are tucked away. You wait for a considerable amount of time. Sylvester does not leave his post, as it were, as it seems to be. You're thinking that he's like on post. He doesn't leave. You suddenly hear the bell of the class change, and you're just like, shit, I've been here for 30 minutes. Wow, okay.
I'm going to make my way towards Transfiguration quickly then.
You have 15 minutes to get there between classes.
Mostly for the fact that I don't want to be seen in the Slytherin dungeon area so close to Transfiguration time, because that would be suspicious.
Okay, give me a dex check for your speed.
Like, basically, as I'm coming out of the shadows, I'm going to leave sneak mode and hurry to get to Transfiguration, or at least close to Transfiguration. 11 plus dex, 5. Okay.
You make it very quickly back up to the ascending stairs, back to the main hall, and ascend the stairs. You are confident you were not seen by anybody leaving the potions dungeon because they weren't even opening the door yet by the time you were leaving your little hole. You make it back to the main hall, and you know instantly how to get the Transfiguration from here. By this point, doors are starting to open and people are coming in. You feel confident that you are not being seen as suspicious at all.
Great.
Several people are just like, hey, Barry. Very.
Is this actually like a thing?
Yeah.
Very berry? Okay. Lore check. That's why I know where the hell very berry comes from. And is it something that I normally engage in? Because my name's Perry.
You think it's super dumb, but it's just an attempt at a fond little... At a fond little nickname for you. Because, you know, Perry, Very, Barry, just stupid rhyming words that are just like, very berry! And you're like, yeah, that's dumb as hell, okay?
Yeah. So I just kind of like begrudgingly like go along with it. Like, very berry,
Yeah.
That's me. Very carry on contrary. Yeah.
You pass the grand opening of the grand open doors, and you see Poppy coming in through the front doors from herbology, and she looks very like she's hugging her textbook to her chest, and she's crossing to another.
Do I think she noticed me?
No.
Does she normally walk that way?
Yes.
That's adorable. I would definitely put it in her. So she's going to her next class. What is her next class?
Charms.
So she has charms while I have Transfiguration.
She really wants to become a healer.
Useful.
Like in a hospital and everything.
Right.
St. Mungo's Hospital. For magical maladies and injuries.
I'm going to...
I guess I could stop with the...
I'm gonna get her attention and like beckon her like, oh hey, real quick.
Give me a true check.
17.
Okay. I was gonna challenge your wherewithal because you've been so like, follow this guy, kiss Poppy, follow this guy even more, trick this guy, hide, and suddenly now you're in public and you see her again, and I was gonna give a significant chance for you to go, Poppy! Instead of being all like, oh hey, I'm cool, remember? I'm cool.
I remember.
But you called to her coolly.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, girl?
She hears you, and she keeps walking, but she turns and sees you, and she's like, oh, and she slows down.
I'll bridge the gap between us.
You come to her, and she comes to you by not moving but turning. And she's like, hi.
god.
She says,
I want to play this out like a total 16-year-old would.
She says, "This has been a weird day. I need to really think about things. I don't know if you're...
I'm gonna interrupt.
Okay.
I was just start like speaking like really fast. And be like, yeah, listen, about earlier, like,
Yeah.
I couldn't find any words, and yeah, maybe it was a little too soon. I feel bad, but I really liked it, but I felt kind of like I was a little bit forward. Sorry.
I'm just a little confused about your sudden motivation because, like, you haven't done anything for years, and then now there's this thing that's gone unspoken, and now that there's this unspoken thing that now we have to talk about, and instead of talking about it, you're acting on it, and I like the acting on it. Oh god, I just said that out loud. I don't know if, like, we're, like there, but I want to be there, but, like, you also, I'm not sure if you...
She's still talking
I'm
out
not
loud.
sure if you want to be there, but, like, I think I want to be there. That makes sense? Okay. But, like, just be sure, okay? Because you're known to be kind of a flip-flopper. I'm not offended if you want to take it back. But you can definitely tell she would be offended if you took it back. So...
I'm gonna say something along. All right, listen. Sorry, there was just something about earlier, like before the week. It felt right.
It did, huh?
With the closeness because of the cold, it felt good.
Yeah.
That charms, eh?
Yeah, I should get going.
Yeah. I have to catch up with my aunt real quick. Which, by the way, she asked about you.
Oh, that's nice.
I'll talk to you later.
I'll see you in the usual spot.
Yeah.
She'll turn around and start making her way yonder. And you will know that you've given her the impression that you wish you hadn't.
Cool. Just like a 16-year-old.
Because really, I'm going for Teddy.
Teddy's so cute, though.
Yeah, man, Teddy's hot.
Yeah.
You got up a donkadonk, too.
I go to Transfiguration.
You go to Transfiguration.
And I make mental note of all the people who overheard that awkward conversation.
Give me a D20 magic check.
13 plus 3.
13 plus 3 is 16. You break the threshold. Give me a D10.
Ain't my life. I rolled a 1 because the paper blew up.
She is teaching you guys review on past spells that likely you have not cast in quite some time. And today she's focusing on Abbivores. So you are going to be the demonstration, or the demonstrator of Abbivores. She puts a statue of a falcon in front of you and says, "Cast Abbivores." Magic check, please.
It's very appropriate that you would choose a falcon. Happy words. 4 plus 3.
You barely remember the approximation because it's surprisingly difficult, because it's like if it's on a plus sign grid, you like start from the top, go to the bottom, go to left, go across, back, across, up, down, up, left, right, down, up. And you're like multiplication, addition, division, subtraction, up 4, 7, 2, green 5. Willpower check.
18 plus 5.
The willpower and magic capability is there, and suddenly you get an approximation, and then you cast, and the falcon statue spins and transmutates into a rabbit. And you're like,
That's cute.
Abigors.
Yeah.
And she says,
I jokingly say, do I know if the rabbit's a he or she?
You jokingly say that?
No. I mean, like...
You have no idea.
I have no idea. I shall name him Clyde.
People start to chuckle, and McGonagall even says, and this is why we review. Because even the most talented among you forgets their own basic spells. Sit down.
Yes, Professor.
She distransfigures it back to a statue and says, we are going to be practicing this, along with, and lists a bunch of spells, and she continues on with class. This was an opportunity for you to learn Abigors. You failed. Anyway, you leave your classroom. Afterwards, you're just like, I fucking messed up. I fucking messed up with the girl. I fucking messed up finding Hatham. I fucking messed up everything. Why does this keep happening to me? What do you do?
It's after class.
Yeah.
I inform McGonagall
Of what?
about a door that I didn't recognize.
She blinks and says, where?
Near the potions room.
Why were you down in the dungeons? Are you looking into this when I specifically told you not to be looking for a conspiracy?
You're so good at this. Oh, I might have gone looking for doors I don't recognize.
Listen to me. Drop this and let the faculty handle Hatham.
Yes, Professor.
I will ask Professor Snape to look into this door. You also, from my memory, were not very fond of the dungeons, and it is very possible that this new and exciting occurrence has caused you to look at more doorways than you ever have before. It's very possible that that doorway has always been there and you're making up a story in your head. Let this go and focus on your education. Yes?
Yes, Professor.
Grand. Go. She a bitch, but she a caring bitch.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna stand there for like a moment, just like
She will wait
really,
you out.
Yeah, like really embarrassed. How's Clyde doing?
She'll look over at the statue. She'll say, he's finding life hard.
It's the kind of humor I'd expect. Did you choose the Falcon because my name's Peregrine?
Yes.
Love you, Auntie. Bye.
You hear her audibly sigh as you leave the classroom. What do you do?
As a side note, that was cool.
What was?
Falcon thing. I was like, that's nice. It's a little touch. Is it something that Morgana will totally do? Well, I'm going to drop it. Because McGonagall. I need to fix the Poppy situation. I want her to come to me. When do we normally meet at our usual spot?
After all classes are done. Your normal spot is in the Gryffindor common room by the fireplace. Specifically the couch.
Baby. Whereas, how much time do we have left before all the classes are out? Like, how many
They're
more
all
periods?
out now.
Oh, that's right. You said my day ended with Transfiguration. I'll go to the usual spot.
You head towards the usual spot. A lot of people are milling around. Everyone in the school is milling around. You see outside the main doors, which are now closing because it's the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's super dark outside and starting to snow again. And so as they're closing, there's a big windy gust that blows through the main hall, and you see a lot of people go, "Oh God," because it's so snowy and cold.
I do the same because I don't like the cold.
People brush up against you. They're just like, "Oh, sorry." And you brush up against other people, and you're just like, "Fuck off." And you go up against the circular stairs, marble steps that go up to Gryffindor Tower. And as you are ascending up to the 3rd floor, knowing that you're about to hit the painting of the fat lady, you realize you need to give me a cunning check.
7 plus 5.
There's a painting along the way to the fat lady that is a woman wearing a purple turban that has a snake wrapped around her arm, and she's usually cooing to the snake. That woman is gone. But the snake is still there on a branch, it seems. And you're not really aware of a branch having been there before.
Do I recognize the branch?
No.
Do I know the lady and where she hails from and what she might be doing out of the picture?
Middle Eastern, never really spoken to her. She could have gone literally anywhere. You find it strange that the snake is left behind, based on how much attention she gives to the snake.
Do I know anyone that speaks Parcel Tongue?
No.
Damn it. I'm going to attempt to speak Parcel Tongue.
Give me a lore check to see if you even know what Parcel Tongue sounds like.
3.
No.
Does the snake notice me?
Snake seems to notice you, but also is like watching all the students walk by on the staircase.
I'm going to wave at it.
They'll perk up at you, like perk up a little bit off the branch.
And I'm going to use very crude hand gestures as to...
Do you flip it off?
No, not crude like that, but I mean crude as in like I don't know sign language, but you know, enough for a snake to understand basically like my general concern with the missing lady. Like,
it hisses at you, but not like in a mean menacing way, but it's almost like trying to talk.
Mm-hmm. I ask the other paintings if they know what the snake is saying.
There's an older gentleman reading through a monocle in a book, and you actually find him quite humorous because he's always reading the same page of the same book.
Right.
And he looks down at it, and you're just like, excuse me, sir, like, what happened to the lady? He'll look at you, look back, say, I'm blind.
I'm really happy that you have, like, a similar humor to the Harry Potter universe.
I literally reread this entire series every year.
No. It's good. I just ask, like, casually around, just Not like urgently, but like, hey, what happened to the lady?
You start to notice that there are people just off the staircase. Like, you can't, like, walk in front of them because they're, like, off yonder. They're actually talking about, like, and she just suddenly disappeared. Like, I don't really understand. Like, she just kind of, like, was there 1 minute and gone the next. Like, what is that branch that he's sitting on it now? Like, I don't. And you're like, huh.
Let's make a mental note of the fact that everyone's confused by it.
Give me a lore check.
18.
Revelio. I'm a little intoxicated, sorry.
I didn't think... Oh, I guess now I think about it, it would make sense with pictures. But I didn't think that... Never mind. I had a weird train of thought. I cast Revelio. 17.
Revelio.
And then 15.
The portrait itself pushes forward, and the door swings open.
It's a door.
It is a door. The frame
Has it always been a door?
You don't know.
I'm going to ask, not the old blind guy, but somebody else in the painting. Like, has there always been a door here?
What? Can you leave me alone? I'm learning to read.
Why do you make these faces? That's great.
They make the world come alive.
Yes. Does anyone else seem completely bewildered by the fact that a picture opened up?
You look around, and the few people that are left on the staircase don't really seem to notice at all. Not because they're just like, well, I don't see anything, but because like they're talking, they're reading, they're dealing with their book or whatever. Also, it's not infrequent for portraits to open up secret passages. Mm-hmm. You've just never seen this lady gone and this one open. This is a passerby area. This is not a space where a lot of people like stand and wait for something to happen. Mm-hmm. Also, this is very near Gryffindor Tower. You know this area.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna find Poppy.
Okay. You leave.
I'm gonna leave it ajar.
Oh, okay.
Just leave it open, and go find Poppy. I'm leaving it open just so everyone knows that there's a freaking door there.
Okay.
Basically, and say, "Hey, Poppy, like, I just found this freaking like crazy door."
So you go straight up to the fat lady, which takes you less than a minute. You approach her, and she says, "Password. Lore check."
Hold on. I want to do this without doing a lore check, but it's different like every year. It's not gonna be the same.
It's different every month.
Yeah. 13.
Elf's ear.
Is she saying Elf's ear?
No, I'm telling you what the password is.
Oh, it's Elf's ear.
Yeah.
Okay. Elf ear.
Close enough. That she swings open for you.
I'm so glad you noticed that's the difference. I'm so glad. Close enough.
She rolled her eyes. Close enough. She's seen you for 6 years. She's like, tired of your shit.
Impossible.
Instantly, you are warm. The fire is raging, roaring, and you're sure it's enchanted to embrace the entire common room. Many people are playing gobstones. They are pretending to duel each other, but not really, because that's not allowed. People are flirting. People are kissing. People are trying to sleep. People are studying. People are eating. How is that possible? You see Poppy with her knees up against her chest, not studying for a change, her arms wrapped around her knees, and she sees you the moment you walk in. And she sees the determined look on your face, and she's like, this ought to be good.
Mm-hmm.
She's back to a bit of playfulness.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's good. Gotta see this.
Okay. And she gets up, she grabs her satchel bag, she puts it around her, and she's like, let's go.
I show her.
You notice the door is more open than it was.
Okay. I imagine someone messed with it, or maybe it opened more.
Do you go in?
Automatically? No. Why would I do that?
Poppy,
Professor explicitly told me not to.
Poppy sees it and says, "Oh, wow. Wait a minute." And she actually looks at the painting and she's like, "It's different. Her arm was right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy." And she'll like coo at the snake and she's like, "Hey, bud. Did you know this was a door?"
I cast her. Not exactly. I cast Revelio on it when the lady was missing.
Oh, I don't blame you. Okay, hold on. Wow, she knows this. Okay. I rolled double sixes.
Also, I'm gonna take the time to inform her under my breath about the stuff that happened with Hatham and McGonagall and all that stuff.
She's like, this is a lot that... Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I have this weird suspicion.
We can talk about it more later. Let me focus real quick.
Sure.
And she kind of does the vertical like thing with her wand. This is what she does when she's focusing, but she's locked eyes with you. And she takes a deep breath and then does kind of a figure 8 in the air and then says, "Expecto Patronum." And there's a silver that mists out of her wand and shoots out and just sort of prances down the stairs and out of sight. And she's like, "I just sent a message. McGonagall will know of this so that she can be on her way." In the meantime...
That was really cool.
I just learned it like 2 months ago. I was so excited to show you, but there's not been a Dementor. But apparently Patronuses can also be messengers. So that's cool.
Wicked.
I know. Baller.
Well, that's what they say.
Lumos. She will cast Lumos and spark light in the middle from her wand into the pathway that goes into the painting. And it actually creates like a dark corridor. You see that there's like black curtains or veils all along the walls that are inside of this painting corridor. So that Lumos is sort of absorbed by the black veils. And she's like, "Do you want to go in?"
God, I really want to. Only if you do.
"I am prefect. So we better be quick." And she steps inside. And it's kind of a narrow corridor, so she like takes up like half the corridor. And she looks back at you and she's like, "Come on."
I press my body against her, the other half, and we sidle along together.
She slides the painting almost all the way shut, and she looks up at you and she's like, "Tight, huh?" And she'll sidle down and keep going, and sure enough, these are veil, like made out of like a knitted material, and they're very much reminding you of something. Give me a d20.
16.
They are made out of the same sort of material as a wedding veil. Very coarse, yet fine at the same time, like a netting. It's weird. Yet it's black, which kind of gives you the memory of, like, in olden times, that same wedding veil that are held by brides now were put over deceased women before they were buried.
Okay.
And so suddenly you're just like, "Oh shit, what is going on?" And dark thoughts start to enter your mind, like, what are we about to walk into? You start to hear dripping again, like how you were in the dungeons. Do you keep going?
No.
You stop?
Yeah. I say, "Listen, Poppy, as much as I want to keep going down this hallway with you, I'm really feeling like we shouldn't."
I understand. Let me just check one thing. I'm newer to this one. Hold on. And she'll like kind of wiggle her fingers around her wand, and she's like, Hominum Revelio. Where'd it go? There it is. And there is a almost invisible like heat wave feeling that, or heat wave visage that goes around, and she's like, I don't think that works totally. There is something further on though. I think there actually is someone further in.
I really think we should turn back.
Okay.
I let her know that I heard a... I'm whispering, but I let her know that I heard a similar sound in the dungeons.
Okay.
And I say, it might connect to the dungeons. I'm not sure.
All the way up here?
Maybe.
Okay. She'll follow you. And she'll begrudgingly like go back. Like you can tell that she's like gotten excited from like this little small mysterious adventure. But you head back.
We're both just kind of like...
Yeah. And you find that the portrait has closed behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot open it.
I push a little harder.
The canvas has turned to stone. As in, it is a stone brick wall.
The canvas, like the picture frame. I cast Revelio. 10 plus 5.
Beautiful. It remanifests as a portrait, and a handle appears on the right side.
I test it.
It opens easily.
Okay.
It does occur to you just now from your instant knowledge of who she is, Poppy is claustrophobic. So just for a moment, she was starting to like...
Really freak out,
Yeah, so you cast Revelio, you open it, and there's light, and she's like, thank you. She's like holding on the opposite wall. She's like, okay.
I'm literally like... I nudge her forward, like, you first, but I place my hand on her hip to like move her forward.
And so she walks forward. She's on the stairwell now, and she's like, she has her like like hands on her temples, and she's like, okay, that suddenly turned not so fun. Okay, not cool, magic, not cool. And both of you wait for McGonagall then?
Yep.
Okay.
I say, Auntie told me to let her know if we found anything.
Yeah, I imagine also that if I'm to stay in her good books, I imagine I should probably follow the rules. Even though I'm a prefect. That's kind of what's frustrating. Basically I'm a glorified tattletale.
Is that how you really feel?
Yes. It's annoying because, head boy and girl have a lot more power, it seems like, because they've been doing such a great job. So great. That they deserve more influence. I understand that. They've been doing a great job, and so many kids have, stopped doing terrible things to each other, but it's so frustrating being a prefect because, by comparison, I'm like an unpaid babysitter. Along with being a sixth year. Along with having a career in mind. Along with having the guy that I've always liked not really know what he wants to do with me.
Do you want to become head girl?
Yeah. I think that would really help with future endeavors. It's surprisingly hard to get into St. Mungo's. Because once you get in, people don't really want to retire. It's a good career. It sets you up for good. So it's hard to get in. And so if you're head girl, instant good reputation. At that moment, McGonagall will come by and she'll have her own wand lit. Kind of unnecessarily because it's still decently lit, but she's sort of I'm ready.
Yeah.
she'll come up the stairs and she's like, okay, what's going on? And Poppy will explain, door, portrait, actually door, woman gone, snake, turn to stone, hallway. And McGonagall's like, why are you being so emphatic? She will cast Revelio, because it will have resealed. And then it will open again, and she's like, have you gone in there?
Yes, Professor.
I don't blame you. She goes in.
It's just because. Why? It's so close to the common room.
I don't blame you.
Thanks.
But I'm glad that you stayed out. She goes inside. What do you do?
Professor.
You see her cast a kind of a figure 8 vertical spell, and you'll see her cast an unlasting Protego spell in front of her, and she'll look back at you.
You need a hand?
I have 2. And she'll proceed forward, and the painting will shut behind her. And you're like, huh. Great. How long do you wait?
It's not a question of how long I wait. That's what I do. I ask Poppy if she can send another message to another faculty member, because I don't know how many other professors McGonagall told about.
I cast them to the entire teacher's lounge.
Oh, great. I ask her opinion. How long do you think we should wait?
5 minutes. And then we go in there, incendio's blazing. You wait 5 minutes.
It's a really awkward 5 minutes. I'm just saying it's a really awkward 5 minutes. Because it's just like...
And Poppy says, I think we should go in now.
Yeah?
And as she's touching the canvas...
My aunt might be testing us.
Would she actually do that?
Maybe.
To what end?
Well, she just seems so... Open it.
She'll push, and it's sealed again.
Really,
It opens, and she's like, thank you. And as she pushes it, a hand on the inside grabs it and opens it, and you're just like, ah!
Yeah.
And it's your aunt. And she's like, you failed the test. No, I'm kidding. She says, make way. Make way.
Okay, get out of the way.
Because she is levitating a young boy who is not in a good way at all. Obvious recent blood marks on his body. Cunning check, please.
I'm like legitimately like, Poppy, do something.
Yeah.
15 plus 5.
Wow. 20 then.
Mm-hmm.
The vague impressions that you get from the blood marks mean that they come from very specific sources on the body. And it implies they were intentional. Intentional injuries to specific parts of the body. But you don't know anatomy enough to really know why. But you're like, this was on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Poppy will immensely pipe up and say, like, does he need healing? I can do healing. I know how to do all that. And McGonagall's like, follow me. You can keep him stable until we get out into the medical wing. And she's just gone with McGonagall, leaving you behind. The portrait remains open, and you hear footsteps behind you.
Coming from the portrait? Do I sense, like, McGonagall knew about the footsteps? Or knew that someone was behind her?
No.
Okay.
She
I'm going to be on guard. And wand drawn, facing the doorway. And I'm going to alert anyone nearby within earshot.
There's no one around you.
That I might need help. Well, I'm just going to say it anyway.
Okay.
I'm going to do Lumos.
You cast Lumos, and your light stretches far enough to see a face in the black veils in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it is Hatham. You can see also that his face is kind of stoic, unfeeling.
I'm going to greet him. Be like, evening, Hatham. What are we doing in there? Do I sense that anyone else is behind him?
No.
I want to ask, are you able to speak?
The sacrifice must be made to protect the magical world. And he's been looking down as he's been talking.
Mm-hmm.
Then he'll look back up at you kind of frantically, and then back to stoic. And then he'll kind of step backwards and say, if you want to protect, you can help. And he recedes back into the hallway.
Do I know that that's how he normally just talks?
You've never heard him talk. You have seen him duel with fellow Gryffindors before, but in that moment he was shouting spells. I want you to give me a magic check.
9 plus 3.
Does nothing. You feel a palpable urge to follow out of curiosity.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm going to follow. But I'm gonna be trying to get his attention like the whole time. Lumos still active.
You follow him into the veiled hallway again, checking back to see that the portrait is still open, and when you check, it is.
Mm.
You continue past the point where you and Poppy went in, and the pathway actually bends a bit to the right, and it kind of opens up into a, not really a cavern, because that kind of insinuates that it's big. It's like a small domed room that's like barely a room. Like, it's smaller than the room that we're in right now. It's tight, curved dome top. There's even like a slender pillar in the middle. It's like the idea of a room that, like, if the castle was an entity, it had the idea of like almost a room that like could manifest, but like, we'll leave that for later. It's like unfinished, unlit, not really having a purpose at all. It's just here.
Mm-hmm.
Hatham has a small cauldron with a regular fire brewing and it's made inside is like a dull, murky potion, slightly simmering. And next to him is a big bowl, and there's blood inside. You can tell that it is blood based on the viscosity and the color. And he is sitting on the ground now, looking down at it. He says, The golem needs a lot. He's now having a harder time talking.
Has he been even responding to me this whole time?
No.
He's just doing his own thing. He has a small potion brewing. It has a bigger cauldron with some blood, but not enough, obviously. Do I notice anything out of place or any switches? Any...
No switches, no buttons, no trapdoors, no doors at all. This place is lit only by the fire under the cauldron. Give me a cunning check.
16 plus 5.
You see possibly a knife hilt behind the bowl of blood on the other side of the bowl from you.
Mm-hmm.
The handle is on the opposite side of the bowl from him. So he'd be like reaching it around to get it if he was to grab it at all.
We'll put this on the top of the list of creepy things, eh? I'm gonna try and get some type of a rise out of him.
Do you hate the dark arts?
Hate them?
I hardly know her.
Yeah. Well, I just think hate's a strong word, yeah?
Do you fear the Dark Lord's return?
Well, yes, very much.
We can stop any fear, but at a cost. We must sacrifice wizard blood to fuel no. And he actually starts to rise, like, and his hand hits the pillar, and he's like,
I cast Revelio. It was weird.
where do you aim?
The fucking room? It's a small room.
Revelio!
Yeah. I'm gonna cast it on... him.
Okay.
16.
And what power?
Oh, there. 18.
You know without a doubt with that crit, he's under the Imperious Curse.
Yeah. Out of character, I figured, but...
Meaning, he is not the puppet master.
Mm-hmm. Wonder... I don't know of a way to get rid of that.
The Imperious Curse cannot be released by any known means. That secret's with the Ministry. Except for the caster relieving it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and death.
Right.
Just going to draw attention. You said 10 o'clock before. It is 11:10 right now.
Right.
Just so you know.
I make a motion to leave.
He calls out, "Make it stop!"
Do I recognize the potion?
No. Should have studied more for your OWL.
I have ideas,
Okay.
but I don't want to do them because it's not really my character. My character has a Gryffindor, naturally, Gryffindor Slytherin thing, but like after getting to know his side a little bit, I actually do feel for him, especially while he's under the Imperious Curse. I wouldn't want to attack him. But I feel like the right move is actually to get the knife and to let loose his blood. But I don't want to do that. Because that would be what the Imperious Cursed caster wants. So I want to leave. That would be what my character wants to do.
Okay. You proceed to leave?
Yes.
D20 final action?
Yeah, I leave. I guess the number doesn't matter, but yeah. I tell him I'm sorry, in case he is listening.
He does not resist your leaving. He does not try to fight you or stop you or be violent. He doesn't even shout at you.
Yeah.
But you say I'm sorry and you hear movement behind you of flesh against stone. Like quick movements. Do you turn back and look? Or keep going?
So as I turn away to go down the hallway,
as you continue walking, yeah.
I hear those quick movements.
It does not sound like it's approaching you.
Yeah, where he was.
Yes.
Where I left him.
Yes.
I look back.
You see that he is, he's on the ground and he has dived for the knife.
He dived for it? Am I certain that I'd be able to leave?
No, but
The painting's open or is it closed?
you can't see from... Oh, actually, you kept walking. You can see light at the end.
With Lumos still lit, I hightail it to leave.
You run out. You do not hear him follow you. You don't hear any shouting. You jump out of the portrait. You actually hear it latch behind you.
Okay.
You turn back, and the snake is still there, kind of looking at you curiously, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I go to the ward where McGonagall and Poppy went.
On your way to the ward, they meet you in the middle, because they're heading back.
Cool. I very frantically explain everything that just happened.
McGonagall looks in, like, goes into action mode, and just, like, without even listening to the full story, rushes past you.
Focusing on the fact that, like, Imperious had happened.
She runs as fast as she can move in her older age. Mm-hmm. Back up the stairs, up into the portrait, non-verbally says Revelio, goes through, casts Lumos, protective spell again. She goes through, and she's in the room now, where you were. And she just goes still. Do you proceed to where she is?
No. I remain a safe distance behind her.
She slowly makes her way further in.
I will follow, but keeping a similar distance.
Poppy lights Lumos and goes along with you, just behind you. And as you turn the corner, you see Hatham on the ground, and blood is everywhere. and it looks like he cut his own throat open.
Yeah.
McGonagall is trying to cast the highest level healing spell that she knows. Poppy nudges past you and tries to do the same. Nothing is bringing him back. It's past the point of no return.
Yeah.
And how you feel about this is really up to you, but you are now aware that you ran away from the situation that he wasn't dead when you left him, and when you came back, he was.
Oh, yeah.
Several minutes will pass where McGonagall will try really hard to bring him back, and Poppy will give up first because she only knows so much.
Yeah.
And so then she'll go back on her heels, like start to like dry heave cries as she like looks down at the bowl of blood, like cringes from it, looks at the potion, looks at it confused, and like tries to like piece it together, and then looks back at the body, cringes again, grabs the pillar, stands up, and makes her way out. And she's like, I can't, and she makes her way out.
I'm comforting her, and I leave, and I like shoot McGonagall a look if she's even looking.
She will not look at you.
Yeah.
As you make your way back out to the hallway, Poppy will like keel over against like the barricade of the stairway, and she'll just say, and she'll like cover her hands and like her wand's at her side, and she'll like cover her hands and like just like not quite cry, but like desperately resist that this is real, because she's never seen a dead body before. You've never seen a dead body before. You've known people who have died, but you've never seen visible death before. And this was violent. Suicide. But only... Well, no, they all know about the Imperius Curse. The theory is that he killed himself to resist the curse, because he didn't see a way out. It's also possible, though, in the back of your head, that the Puppet Master made him kill himself to stop giving away information if he was going to.
Yep.
Poppy, after clearing her head and, like, able to talk, she will finally look up at you and say, that potion was a preserver. Like, it was meant to keep something fresh. It was clear, which I thought it was Veritaserum, but that doesn't make any sense. It had to have been... But what would he have been trying to preserve? I don't get it. You told him everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
Give me a magic check.
12 plus 3.
You imagine pretty easily and put two and two together that the preserver was meant to keep the blood fresh.
No.
For the sake of a sacrifice of some sort. But none of you know where the blood was meant to be taken. You also don't know what necessarily this golem actually is. And so all of you are sort of stumped as to what the next step is here, if there is a next step. And all of this could have been completely pointless. And this boy could have died for effectively nothing. Always living misunderstood and bullied for something he didn't even do.
Yeah.
I'm going to end it here tonight.
Woo!
Because there's significantly more to do, and we're not going to finish tonight. Not even close.
Significantly more to do. Oh, for like the whole campaign, or like just the one encounter?
Oh, for the whole campaign.
Okay. I want to keep playing.
Yeah, we will.
Okay. I mean, like, I want to play, like...
Play this more?
Play the campaign, yeah. Like, I want it to be a long campaign.
We can see where this goes. Because if this really works, then yeah, I'm happy to do so.
I'm, like, super into this.
Good.
Alright, well... let's see here. I wasn't recording any of that.
Yeah, you were.
I was. Look at you! You're really good at that. Bye-bye.
Bye!